Hello and welcome to the build-up show. It's a build-up to a good game. Gonzo's put me off there. He's comparing with people behind the camera. Welcome to build-up to a good game. Bournemouth versus taking on West Ham United at the London Stadium. Kick-off 1 hour and 5 minutes away, which means the lineups are just 4.5 minutes away. Gonzo, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Looking forward to it. A bit nervous, actually. What about yourself?
I feel quite good, actually. I got a little bit nervous this morning I was watching all the highlights from all the Premier League games thus far, and it started to get me a little bit jittery because I kept flashing up the league table, and I didn't like it. It was reminding me how close we are to the bottom, but then I'm trying to almost like have a psychological battle with myself, saying, yeah, but if we win, we go 10th, and you think, but you're still only 5 points away from the bottom, so it's not really that much better, really. But it's a topic for another day, kind of thing. So I had nerves, but I feel quite content, I think, is the phrase I would use. I see Moyes has been saying we need to finish a bit better, though.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of goes without saying, really, but also we think we need to create enough chances of this mantra of sitting back and then attacking later on in the game, which obviously we're going to do a video about that at some point. We're not just making it up. Antonio has alluded to it in a podcast, and Antonio's just openly said Moyes' tactics are not to attack early on in the game, and it sort of has that ring about it. I remember this old Sam Allardyce, don't shoot. It was a bit of folklore, wasn't it, really? The players got fined if they shot from long distance, but then Kevin Nolan sort of admitted it. Matty Taylor admitted it. A few of them admitted it, didn't they? And then, so you don't know. So look, it's all very well finishing, but what I would suggest is if your strikers or your forwards or your players are finishing maybe 1 in 5, maybe start creating a few chances it might yield some more goals and practice finishing on the training pitch.
Ben Mama would be bankrupt under Allardyce.
He'd owe him money, which is just how Sam likes it. Yeah.
Said, you owe me $6.5 grand. Usually I take cash, but that's quite a lot of money. I'm feeling guilty on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, before the lineups are out, a bit of admin for you. This is sponsored by the One Football app, the fantastic free football app for the football fan. Whether you support West Ham, Bournemouth, or any other team, it don't matter. It's covered on there. And you can download it by using the link in the description of this video. It takes about 15 seconds, and bang on 7 o'clock, you'll get a notification saying West Ham v Bournemouth lineups are out. It'll come up on my phone. I'm going to click it and read the lineups out to you at 7 o'clock. But going forward, it's a useful thing to have, especially if you keep up to date with all the what's going on in the Premier League as well. You can get your main headlines from the league there too. So you're out and about, you think, what's going on in the Premier League today? Get your One Football app loaded up, click on the Premier League, click on news, scroll down, all your headlines, one place, 30 seconds to catch up with news, bish, bash, bosh, just how I like it. Fantastic and free. Get it downloaded today. Gonzo, if I told you there was one change... Actually, no. If I told you there was 2 changes from the team that faced Liverpool, which 2 would you hope it would be? I'm not saying there is 2 changes. It's just I'm intrigued to know what you're...
Well, Dawson would be the first one. It's quite clear. The stats are quite clear. I'm not particularly a stats man, but we were crap. Then Dawson came back. Then we won some games, and then Dawson got out of the team, got injured, and then we lost and drew. And so there's my stats, and you're welcome. So Dawson needs to come back, and be nice. I gotta say, it would be nice. Be nice to have Paqueta in there. That would be a good one, I think.
Yeah, interesting. I shall confirm when I get the confirmation. What are you laughing at?
Well, you say, yeah, interesting. I'll confirm. Like you don't know. You know full well already. But we'll play the game. I don't know.
I don't know. Official confirmation will be out in 30 seconds or so. But that gives me 30 seconds to promote the Christmas jumper. There you go. Today is the last day you can order it. Forget today. Tonight is the last night you can order it, because tomorrow morning it comes off sale off the website, and we get our order sent off to the manufacturer. So if you do want a Christmas jumper for £25, the link is at the top of the very live chat. It's size large, but when you click it, it'll take you through the jumper. You can change the size there as well. Get it ordered tonight. You save a £5. You guarantee yourself a Hammer Shack Christmas jumper. There'll be very limited numbers on sale next month. Very, very small amounts, because we can't afford to buy stock, and it'll be 30 quid. So save a £5 and guarantee yourself one. Happy days. Gonzo, would you like to know the West Ham starting 11 tonight?
Please tell me all 11 of them.
One change for the Hammers as Lucas Fabianski continues in goal, and the back four is unchanged with Ben Johnson right back, Thilo Kehrer partnering Kurt Zouma in the middle with Aaron Creswell left back. The make-up midfield is what we will discuss in just a minute, as we've got Declan Rice, Thomas Souček, Flynn Downs in there, as well as Jared Bowen, Said Benrahma with Gianluca Scamacca up front. So there's one change, Benrahma for Fornals.
Okay, well that I don't mind at all. I also think maybe it might put Flynn down central.
What we'll do something a bit unusual. What we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at the bench, because obviously a lot of the discussion around the 11 is going to be, but is he fit? Is he fit? Is he fit? The answer is no, no, no. So here is the West Ham bench for tonight. We've got Areola as well as Dan Randolph. We've also got Vladimir Coufal. We've got Pablo Fornals, Manuel Lanzini, Ogbonna, Coventry, Emerson, and Michail Antonio. So that's the bench for West Ham. So there's no Paqueta, no Cornet, and no Dawson on the bench. Now we can go back to the starting 11, which might make a bit more sense now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a funny one, isn't it, really? Because there's no number 10 in there. You have to assume, and I've got to assume that David Moyes is not going to shoehorn Flynn Downs in on the right side of midfield at the start of this game again. So I have to assume that that Bowen's going to start on the right. And I would assume that Benrahma would start on the left, which means Flynn Downs is going to be sort of in the middle there. Maybe just to make things really tough in there. It's possibly not the best, not the worst plan in the world, by the way. However, I'd like to see a more creative player in a number 10 role. It is interesting, though, because if what he wants is a workhorse in the middle, it's interesting that he's not picked Pablo Fornals in there. Because Fornals, in many respects, if that's what he was looking for, is the ideal candidate for the job to play number 10. He'll be able to transition the game quickly, and also he'll put a shift in the middle. So maybe Souček pushes up a little bit more, but we spoke about this in the last game. If he's going to put him there, then he has to do it. This is really, really important, that he does that. So rather than just sit back with three holding midfielders there.
When you're looking at the 11, you've seen the bench now. Would you make any changes? Now that you've got the pool of players available, is this 11 you would have gone with, or is there any changes you would have made? Oh, thank you, Charlie. Charlie's very good at this clicking buttons. Read my mind there.
I maybe have gone with Lanzini in there as a number 10.
Ahead like of
one of the, probably Souček.
Yeah,
probably Souček. I do think it's very defensive minded. Look, if more people were fit, I'd have Paqueta in there. I'd have Cornet in there. Maybe obviously not Cornet as a number 10, but I'd play Cornet on the left and then play Benrahma in behind in the number 10 or something like that. I'd do something different. I can't help but feel here's the point. What we've been crying out for, what I've been crying out for is I think we play with one attacking player too few. That's what I think. And I think that's generally the left-hand side. So actually what the last thing I want us to do, though, is to take out that player, Fornals, and then put an attacking player in, but then we get one less attacking player in the middle of the pitch, which is basically what we've got. So I think he's just moved it. Basically, just moved his defensive position around a bit. He's basically taken a defensive position away from the left wing and put a defensive position in the middle of the pitch. Obviously, we'd all like Paqueta there, but I just wonder, is there some room there for another attacking player? Can you play Antonio on the left wing and play Benrahma in behind Scamacca or something like that? He's just gone very, very cautious again. But this is as good as it's going to get, and we may well score some goals. My word, we need to score some goals. But if he's only going to play really with three attackers against Bournemouth, now I'll let everybody else decide who they think should be the weakest team in the league. Obviously, the Bournemouth are not at the bottom, but there's nothing. There's no one awful team this season, is there? They're basically a load of teams that are a bit pants, including us, right? You haven't got someone there on 3-4 points, that sort of thing. So I think with that in mind, if you would concede that Bournemouth are one of the teams who you might hope to get 3 points against, particularly your home game at the start of the season, Moyes is only going to play three attackers against Bournemouth. You can forget that we might see later on in the season a team with five attack, with a real attacking team. This is it. He's going to strangle the game. But you know what? He needs to win, Geo. He needs these 3 points. He needs to do it, and he needs to go for it.
Yeah, it depends on the formation for me. If it's that strange 4-4-2 that we saw, on Wednesday. I'm not too keen on that because it'd be Bowen up front
Sure.
and then sort of Downs on the right. But if it's a 4-3-3 and sort of Downs is that sort of holding midfielder, and it sort of, in theory, takes the shackles off Rice and especially Souček as well and gets them both up the pitch, I can't really complain about it. I've been sitting here for months going, I want to see 4-3-3. I can't then see it and go, wow, that 4-3-3. So I feel a bit conflicted. Ideally, I'd have Paqueta in there, but he's unavailable. So what else we would do? And to some extent, it's between Fornals, Lanzini and Souček. I'm okay with Souček in all honesty, providing we actually get him in the box. So that's the thing. He has to get in the box. If he's going to be lingering around 30 yards from goal and stuff, well, there's no danger there. He's not creative enough. He's not going to shoot from 25 yards and cause problems like Ben Rama can do, like Lanzini can do. I'm not seeing that from Souček. So he's only effective offensively in the 18-yarder, usually from crosses. And he's quite good at the knockdowns and the scrappy bits on the deck as well. I've seen him times of many knocking in with his feet at the back post and stuff. But he has to get in that 18-yarder. Rice, we know, can hit it from distance. Got a good goal against Southampton. I wouldn't be surprised to see him with his tail up. I wouldn't be surprised if he's watched the Liverpool game back and there was a couple of opportunities that he could have shot where he didn't. He just was very disciplined and passed the ball and nothing come of it. You do think sometimes if he maybe gets a bit frustrated and watching it back, thinks maybe I just could have had the effort myself. At least someone would have had a shot. There's enough attacking threat on that pitch from us tonight. You don't almost need as that good a player as you do against like Liverpool or even Southampton to some extent. Salisu and Belka Chaps, two really good partnerships, and obviously one went off and Chalata Carr come on. Well, we've just seen that centre-back pairing, granted with an additional player in there, do really well against Arsenal, arguably one of the better attacking teams in the league this season. So they are improving. Ben Rama's in there, delighted with that, really, really pleased with it. Got a little concern over sort of Ben Johnson at right back, but I'm looking at the bench. In all honesty, Gonzo, I don't think I would have changed him. When it first came, I thought, would I maybe have played Emerson ahead of one of the centre midfielders? But no, because that pushes Ben Rama in the middle. I want to see Ben Rama on the left tonight. I want him going at the Bournemouth fullback, whoever it is. Well, would you like to know who it is?
Please tell me who the fullback is for Bournemouth.
Okay. Right, so it's unchanged from the team against Southampton, which is a bit surprising, actually, considering how poor they were. So let me just try and work this out. So in goal is Neto. He's definitely the goalkeeper. All right, he's definitely goal. Ryan Fredericks is playing, as well as Memphis, Smith, Sensei. They're all playing.
There's two Ryan Fredericks going across the bottom of the... They're cheating. Look at the bottom of the screen. Two Ryan Fredericks.
I praised Charlie way too early, didn't I?
You certainly did. This is cheating. You said who's going to be at fullback a minute ago. You said, Gonzo, would you like to know who's at fullback? I said, yes, please. I didn't realise they were going to be doubling up. They've got three players down that right-hand side.
Solanke will be up the top with Billing just in behind him and also across the midfield, or possibly playing wing backs. But I imagine it's playing across the midfield. They've got Tavernier, Ryan Christie. They've also got Lerma and Cook. So I imagine they'll be playing 4-4-1-1. I think that's what they'll do. Although it says unchanged, I think the formation will be different because I don't think they'll be doing that 3 at the back thing anytime soon.
He did a little cheeky one then, Charlie. By the way,
he done?
He changed. He's changed it back now. But there was a truly exceptional player in the Bournemouth lineup. Let me just say that much.
Anyway, there you go. So Ryan Fredericks will either be right back or left back, possibly right back with Smith on the left.
Yeah. Look, I understand why they've chosen the same team. It's always a tough one for them, for Bournemouth, that South Coast derby. It's a big game for them, and it can, having lived down there, it can, all the tensions and all the local rivalry, any result is possible in that one. So possibly O'Neill doesn't feel that result is reflective of the standard of his team and how good his team can be, or the level his team will play to. He possibly looks at that as an isolated game, as you get in derby games, and it very much is one.
Yeah, I mean, it's an all right team for Bournemouth, really. There's some good players in there, but the reality is we've got to be winning tonight, regardless of which personnel they put out. We're reading out because it's part of the show, and we need to know who we're playing individually and stuff. But they could have named a completely different 11 and I'd still have the same thought process, which is we must win this game. We have to win this game. We should win this game. Like I said, I'm a bit surprised, actually, he stuck with that exact same 11 despite the performance against Southampton. So an interesting one there from Gary Neal. Right, we'll take a look at the Bournemouth bench now. On the bench, we've got Travers, who's their goalkeeper, as well as Stevens, Rothwell, who West Ham were linked with last season. They've also got Stacey, Stanislas, former academy player. They've also got Kiefer Moore. They've also got Pearson, Anthony, and Zamura as well.
And Fredericks.
Fredericks.
I can't. Well, Zamura we know a little bit about, because I didn't know anything about him until you pointed him out, and we spoke with Mr. Redknapp. Master Redknapp's a younger one, of course. We spoke with Mr. Redknapp about him, and he confirmed he was a good player. Aside from that, I would, and aside from Stanislas, I don't know these players at all. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think. Unless they've stolen Anthony from Man United and they've got, or he's a bit of a ringer or something like that. I don't know an awful lot about him, truth be known.
Well, a couple of them are new. Their keeper, Neto's new. They got him from Barcelona. Don't know anything about him. Sensei, their centre back, they got him from Feyenoord in the summer as well. Memphis, I quite like Memphis actually. I quite like him, the Welsh centre back, and he's still quite young. It feels like he's been around for ages, but he's still quite young. Obviously, they're missing Lloyd Kelly. Lewis Cook I really like. I'm not a big fan of Lerma, if I'm honest with you. I've never really been his biggest fan. I'm trying to think who else they've got playing now. Ryan Christie, I do like. Works hard, doesn't mind a tackle, but he's not the most gifted player in the world. He's almost like their left-footed Pablo Fornals. That's exactly who Ryan Christie
sounds
is.
Nice. I wish we had one of them.
It's the Bournemouth Fornals, and then they've got Billing will be playing just off of Solanke. And who's the other attacker midfielder? I forgot who it is now. Who was it? Christie?
Fredericks, I think.
Lerma. Tavernier, Marcus Tavernier. I think I'm surprised he's not done better, if I'm honest with you. When obviously in the summer, Keane Lewis Potter got his move, and Brennan Johnson got promoted. They were sort of known as the best two upcoming youngsters in the Championship, if you like. And I think had Tavernier stayed at Borough, and I thought he should have done, but then I expect them to do better under Chris Wilder this season. Obviously, he's been sacked, and Michael Carrick's got that manager's job now, his first managerial stint for Michael Carrick. So I was surprised Tavernier stepped up, because I thought he'd been better off staying where he was and becoming the best player in the Championship, and probably having, when clubs like West Ham and Everton and Crystal Palace going, right, who's in the Championship could come up to the Premier League. He could be at the top of the list, really. So he's not done it there, though. Anyway, right, there should be a poll.
Yeah, they're talking about it. I can't see a poll.
Yeah, there should be a poll on your screen right now. It's a new feature. So there should be a poll on your screen right now asking if you're happy with the starting 11. So you've got 3 options, I think. Very happy. It's all right. Or you're not very happy. Get voting now.
You said 3 options.
There should be 3 options.
Well, you said, are you happy or you're not very happy?
Oh, you're all right with it. It's possible to be okay.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to hate it.
And if you're happy with Bournemouth starting 12.
So there you go. Get voting. Someone said, can we have a poll? I said, possibly. So I messaged Charlie. I said, can we do a poll? I said, if you want. I said, put one up, Charlie. So Charlie's done it. Charlie's doing all the bits. So there you go. Right, Gonzo, bet time. While they're all voting, me and you're going to be putting a little bet together.
Love it.
And, right, what do you fancy?
Bowen's to score. Bowen's got to score a goal today.
Right, West Ham to win. Jared Bowen to score a goal. Anything else?
Flynn Downs card. He looks like a card.
He does. The referee, we've got Coote in charge tonight, who is the lowest in the league for cards per 90 minutes on average. So don't be surprised this one doesn't. There's not too many cards in this game. We'll still
maybe we should do a card. Maybe we should make it really juicy and name a second goal scorer.
Let me just check something. Where's player shots on target? Can we do him? Oh, they don't have. Well, we'll do Ben Rama's shot on target.
Yeah.
Right.
It might be soft and it might be curling and the keeper might catch it, but I reckon we'll get away with it.
It can be a crappy little one for all I care about. Right, who else we're going to do to score then? Souček? Do we trust him to get into the box? Or Scamacca?
No, I trust him. I don't trust Moyes. Scamacca. Is it not good enough?
The odds ain't.
Okay.
Do you know something? We'll do it. What's that come to? 75 quid. We'll just round up to £100. How much shall I round it up, right? So if this bet wins £100 cash to somebody, thanks to Dave for just popping £5 in the super chat saying, got his package dispatch receipt. Thank you for the help. No problem. Sorry for the delay. Sorry to everybody that's had a delay, but we're finally up and running with the Royal Mail. And also thank you for the super sticker and whatever that equates to. I have absolutely what currency is that, Gonzo?
Oh, it's rich. We're rich.
20 grand. Get in. Close down the stream.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. See you later. Thank you for watching Hammer's chat.
But thank you very much to you two for your live your super chats. Right, here's the bet: £100 cash. Gonzo will tell you the phrase in just a second. West Ham to win the game. Bowen and Skamaka to score. Inside Ben Rama to have a shot on target. £100 cash in the live chat. Please put the following phrase.
There's only 2 Ryan Fredericks.
Someone guessed that.
Did they?
Yeah, someone guessed that.
Oh,
honestly, I'm not even taking a piss. Someone. There you go.
Oh, Alan, you are a cheeky. What's it? I've been anyway. There you go.
So there you go. There's only 2 Ryan Fredericks getting to live chat, and you're in. Thank you to Bobby66.
Bobby.
The super chat says, "Is the bet kitty?" Well, that's the bet paid for. Sorted. Rich, I've been doing the Skamaka hat trick for the last 2. I'm £10 out of pocket. However, today I have placed my free £10 bet on Paddy Power on the Skamaka hat trick. So cash, nothing. I've not put any cash on today, but my free bet is on Skamaka hat trick. 55 to 1 it was, so a little bit less. I think it was 325 to 1 at Anfield. So I mean, it got nowhere near winning. Like, barely got the ball. Never mind a goal. Never mind a hat trick. Anyway, Gonzo, you've seen the team. You've seen the Bournemouth team. How you feeling?
Much the same as I was before. I'm a little bit nervous about it all, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think that's a great Bournemouth team. That being said, I don't think it's a great West Ham team either. But we do have... Look, we got some good players in there. You know, the 2 centre-halves are good players. Keira, Zuma. The delivery's got to be better. We got some big players on the pitch here. You know, if we get some corners, and we should do, the delivery has to be better on this game. Got Skamaka in there, got Souček in there, Zuma will come up. These are all big fellas. They can win headers. And it actually leaves people like Declan Rice, who's not a small guy, unmarked. Well, not unmarked, but you know what I mean? At some point, some of the small ones, Billing can't mark everybody. Let's put it that way, right? So
he's not their only tall player. Mempham's a giant.
Who?
Mempham. Sensei's it's not small. Lerma's tall as well.
Not tall like that. We got giants. Lerma's not tall like that. No, Lerma's about the height of a Declan Rice and things like that. So, you know, we have to press our advantage home on that. I really do think we've got a big physical team. Yeah, I do think deliveries are massively important. We've got to get on the front foot and we've got to create. And, you know, Declan's going to have a big role to play in this one. I'm looking around at the league at the moment and it's all so close. And there's one thing we have that some of the others, not all of them, but some of the others don't have, and that's a world-class player. I'm in no doubt about that. Declan Rice is a world-class player. And he has been playing well, by the way. I'm not saying he needs to put his finger out. But we need to cash that in. We need to capitalise on that. And that should make a difference between us and all those others. So this is phase. We shouldn't be at this stage in the season. We shouldn't be where we are now. But this is phase 1 of the next 4 games. And we need 6 points. We need at least 6 points from the next 4 games. And that, I think that's quite low expectation. I would hope for more. But those 6 points will be very hard to get if we don't dispatch Bournemouth in our home stadium tonight.
Right then, it's time for you guys to get involved in the live chat. Give me your thoughts. It can be on the West Ham team, the Bournemouth team, any hopes and fears you have ahead of tonight's game. But a reminder, not your score prediction. We don't want it just yet. But while you're all here, please do drop a like on the video by clicking that thumbs up button. And also, if we hit 28,000 subscribers during this video, so right up until full time, if we hit 28,000 subscribers, we'll be doing a Paqueta t-shirt giveaway. And Charlie's been instructed that if he hits 28,000 while he's doing the watch along, he can pick someone in the live chat that gets a free Paqueta t-shirt. So there you go. Right, let's see what they're all saying, shall we, Gonzo?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the question. You have to excuse me because I'm not watching on my normal hub that I've got at home, so I can't even read the chat. So I'm relying on Geo here.
Sorry. Yeah. Scott says Downs and Benrahma will provide Skamaka with service. Maybe Bowen can pick up a rebound. Wayne says, who's actually the last West Ham player to score a hat trick?
Yeah, Antonio, wouldn't it?
be Antonio at Norwich. Who was before him? Carroll?
Antonio.
No,
Antonio
before
at Norwich.
Antonio. Before Antonio.
Oh, right.
Antonio. It was Carroll, weren't it, against Arsenal?
Maybe.
Harewood got one. Nolan got one.
Yes.
Before them, I don't know. Tested me now.
That ain't great, is it?
Callum Marshall every week in under 18s.
There you go.
Right, let's have a look. John says he's happy with the start lineup. He would have had Emerson in for Ben Rama, but he's not unhappy with Ben Rama.
I'd have been fuming if I mean, that would have been the most defensive lineup we've ever seen if he'd basically taken all the creativity out of the centre and the left side. Honestly, a big game for Cresswell, though. I've got to say that he can provide creativity from that left side.
Stuart says Johnson should be on the bench and Sufal should be on. Mike says the back four have got to do a good job tonight.
Totally right.
Statistically, they're not doing too bad this season. The back four, that is. Ian says, "Evening lads, up to 10th we go. I'm full of confidence tonight." Well, that's just it, isn't it? If we win tonight, we do go 10th. But go to Old Trafford and lose, we'll soon find ourselves straight back down to the end of the table again. So it's a weird old season thus far.
It's funny enough, just before you go on to the next one, how it is now, where actually just one win moves you so far up there. The mathematics of the league are normally like that after 6-7 games. You don't find them like this after 11 or 12. That's why I always used to say, don't pay any attention until it gets to 10 games. Because a quarter of the season, it's a bit over a quarter of a season, and you've got a really good barometer. You don't get that sort of movement. But as I say, there's not one big whooping boy, and it's even relatively close at the top as well. So everyone's taking points off of everybody else. So we could drop straight back down there.
Danny says Downs to get his first goal for the club tonight. Well, as long as it's not his left foot, because that ain't happening.
No.
Jasper says Declan Rice isn't head and shoulders above the rest of the squad anymore. Skamaka and Paqueta are not clearly worse. Fortune's always hiding says it's a Frederick's masterclass incoming.
Yeah, that would be very West Ham, wouldn't it? Said it with two of them, wouldn't it?
Adam wants us to get 900 points from our next 4 games.
9 points.
Did I say 900?
900.
It's because I'll tell you why. Right under his comment is James Guns, which says 200. So that's why I had the 100. I'm trying to read the chat at the same time as well. And Robert says that Skamaka is due a hat trick.
Well, he shoots enough. He's going to get, as you say, Gio, he's going to get one at some point, mate.
Download. I've seen you ask this a few times. For the bet giveaway, I use Bet365, but I'm not endorsing that bookies website. It's just the one that I prefer to use. We don't have a specific one to use, but you're looking for the bet that we've done, because not all bookies offer the same markets and stuff. It's Bet365 we use, just because I've usually got money in there, so it's easier just for me to do it. Gary says that he's pleased that Kiefer Moore is only a sub. He could cause problems. We were linked to him as well, weren't we? For a couple of seasons ago, for a few months,
yes.
We were linked to Kiefer Moore.
Yeah, but we have been linked to most people. So, in fact, we don't play a single opponent who don't have a player that we haven't been linked to, if you know what I mean.
Michael says, I want to see us going at them tonight, imposing our quality. None of this, going 1-0 down before we start playing.
Can't do it. He can't do it at home, Michael. He will not get away with it.
I forgot about this. Thank you, Dan, for reminding me. We've got blonde Ben Rama tonight.
Oh, he's had a trim and a hair colour, has he?
Yeah, the Algeria manager will be fuming. Right, Charlie's sat ready, so I think that means that we've got some poll results, have we, Charlie?
Yes, we do. If you want them right now, do you want them right now?
Yeah, give me them. This is what the live chat said. This feel your lineup happiness.
I felt wrong being in the middle, Gonzo. I feel like it was a disrespect.
Like the filling in a sandwich, Charlie.
Yeah, and that's not my style.
The meat. You're more Subway roll than meatball, aren't you?
I mean, I wasn't going to say it like that, but yeah, probably you're not wrong. Right, the question: are you happy with the starting 11? 66% are like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Very, very happy is 17%, and no, right, 16%. So 16% of people not happy with it. At 428 people who voted.
Okay.
If that
Thank you very much.
Hopefully you got that information and retained it, because I said it as.
It's what I expected.
Yeah,
what I
lots of it's all right.
expected.
Not much hype about it, which is fine. You look at the lineup, lots of central midfield. You get it. Not the big, and then not much disparage because Downs is in there. Some fun, fast. Makes sense. Makes sense.
It does reflect the live chat, to be fair. Anyway, right, Charlie, we'll get you on in 5 minutes, okay? Thank you very much. There you go. Look at us updating our. This is some show we got now. A guy coming in to give us the results of a poll.
It's like a proper show, but smaller.
Glenn says, given 3 first team options unavailable, very sensible options chosen. Would like to see Antonio up front with Scamacca in the latter stages. The game is on Sky Sports tonight. But do stick around because Charlie will be here for the duration of the game. So even if you're watching the game, if you don't mind, you've got your phone, your iPad or whatever, just now and again, pop in, have a little chat with Charlie in the live chat, see what he's saying, see what everybody else in live chat are saying. Mute commentary. Best thing to do. Tom says Rice is easily our best player, and those 3 in midfield, he can get forward more, and Ben Rama in for Fornals was a no-brainer. Taz is happy to see Ben Rama start, so should be a good game. Mark says he'd like to see Lanzini and Antonio at half-time if we have not scored. Josh is asking who's officiating. Coot is the referee. I don't know the linesmen's names. And for some reason, I have a feeling Mike Dean is on the VAR tonight. I could be wrong about that. Someone can confirm for me, but I'm pretty sure Mike Dean's on the VAR. But
he don't get any attention up there, does he? That's the trouble with Mike Dean. He likes to be the centre of attention. They stuck him in a box.
Nobody's ever asked who the referee is, and suddenly 2 or 3 people asking who the referee is.
You're right. I don't know.
Do you know something, though? I don't blame them because did you see that Callum Wilson goal yesterday, right? For what it's worth, I think it should have stood. Lloris came out.
Yeah.
And Wilson went into him.
I didn't see that bit. I didn't see that
right.
Bit, no.
So there was a high ball or whatever. Lloris came out his box and Wilson was running in on him. So Lloris sort of like headed it past Wilson and they collided. Yes. Wilson turned round and chipped Lloris and Dyer into the back of the net. So obviously, the referee said goal stood, but went to VAR. So they were obviously watching as Wilson fouled. A goal stood, right thing to do. But then when you think back to Antonio against Nottingham Forest colliding with a defender, which got disallowed. Yes. And then B, Kearney's goal at Chelsea where Bowen scuffs it. And you think, oh, piss off. Where's the consistency? So I can understand why people are saying, well, who's the referee? It's almost asking, which sort of rules do we have to apply tonight? Because every Premier League's got a different leniency. It's a bit like the Man City Liverpool one. Anthony Taylor said, I'm going to let a lot go today, lads. Let's keep the game flowing. Shirt pool. Oh, yeah, I'll chop that goal off then. Hang on a minute. You just told us you're going to allow things like that to go. And now you're... Anyway.
Yeah, but rugby union's like that. You've got to read the referee. They'll officiate the scrum very differently depending on and everything else as well.
Jamie's buzzing for the game. Worried about service to Scamacca. If we win and we've had to change our formation again, it will take plan B to win, which Moyes start with plan B.
If Moyes starts with plan B, would you not call that plan A, though?
Right, okay. Artist says, Moyes must have some credit in the bank. If you don't have someone special in mind to replace him for a long-term project, then no need to even consider it. Jack says it's a must-win for morale. We don't need to be down in the mix, even if there's nothing in it. Will says we'll score 4 goals on 0.8 XG today, and everyone call it the game of the season. Mikey says, really hope we see a bit of get up and go. A win is a must, but really hope we see a good, strong performance. Tom, I'm just acknowledging your question because you've asked this 100 times, but I can't be arse making it a Moyes. We're looking forward to the game. We'll deal with the Moyes stuff as we do later in the week. I see you keep asking. I'm just acknowledging your question. Noel says, need to start quickly. Scamacca needs to finish. Missed a host at Southampton. Wayne's got a question for you, Gonzo.
Can you say hi to Emma while I'm sat on the loo, please? Emma, how are you? Hello. Wayne's on the toilet at the moment. He may be sometime.
Neil says, surely we're long overdue to give someone a hiding. Probably, possibly, maybe. Right, I'm quite far behind the chat tonight.
You still in there, Wayne?
Right,
hurry up! It started early.
Right, I'm gonna skip as much as I can. Lewis says nothing else than a must convincing and dominant win tonight. Lots of teams have dispatched Bournemouth for 4+ goals this season. Have they? Obviously, I know Liverpool has, but it doesn't feel like they've been conceding a lot under O'Neill.
It's under O'Neill. The tide has turned, doesn't it? So they're a better team. I don't, they're going to be a harder proposition in this game than what we saw at the start of the season.
Alan says he agrees with you. His only criticism, he'd like to see Souček replaced with a proper number 10. Hopefully, one of them plays quite advanced and close to Scamacca. My money is on Downs to score.
I hope so. A few people have said it. I've not seen any evidence.
Why is everyone backing Downs?
I've not seen any evidence that he can shoot.
I've seen evidence that he can't shoot.
There you go. I like him. We like him, but he doesn't look like a goal scorer, does he?
Upson says, I want a dominant performance and a clear victory. I've got no time for banning you. I like that attitude. That's what Moyes should be saying. Lads, dominant performance, clear victory. I've got no time for banning you.
Don't even come back in here. That's what you should be saying. Because that's the sort of thing Fergie would say. And that's what Moyes loves Fergie. Fergie would be saying, don't even bother thinking you can come walk back in here.
Anyway, right. Okay, so that'll do. Right. Last one, and then we'll have a quick chat. Anthony says today is the day for Bench Rama to cement his place.
I like that.
That's exactly what I said. Bench Rama. Boys might call him
annoying when you don't think of that yourself.
Yeah, it's like Scamacca.
Yes.
Right. Anyway, time for score predictions. So if you're watching live, please. I assume you've already liked the video. If not, drop that like on the video and also subscribe. You're around here. Pick out a t-shirt. Hopefully we could give one away. Gonzo, get your score predictions info to the live chat. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll be clicking on them while Gonzo gives me his final thoughts. And in the preview, what did you say in the preview?
I can't remember.
3-0. I think you said 3-0.
What
are you thinking?
I'm thinking 2-0 now. I've got to be honest with you. I've become more and more nervous. Nothing's really happened. Actually, no, two things have happened since then. Everybody else has played and results haven't particularly gone our way. And I do think he's pulled. I was going to call this the old switcheroo. I think he's pulled it's like a bit of misdirection, a bit of a magic trick here. We all think that he's added another attacking player in by taking Benny out and by putting Benny in and taking Fornals out, but he's put another defensive player in the central midfield here. We're still we're still an attacking midfield, attacking player down. I hope.
Hang on a minute, though. What I will say, though, Fornals and Lanzini have done nothing to justify starting, though. I'm not saying it should. No, he doesn't have to. But it's not just that. As I said earlier, you could put Ben Rama in the number 10 role and put Antonio on the left wing. This is. I do feel that this is really important now. This is a very important game. All right, you do not want to go for the next few days of us not winning this game because it's not going to be good. The vibe around the club's not going to be good. The vibe amongst the fans is not going to be good. So actually now is not the time to consider fixture congestion. Now is not the time to think of who's tired and trying to manage the squad throughout the next few games. We've actually had quite a rest. We played on Wednesday, okay? And we've, one day travel, fair enough. We've still been able to spend 3 days on the training ground, right? Those players should be fit. I don't want to see Antonio rested or anything like that. Play your best team. And I'm not sure that this necessarily is that. So personally, I would have played Antonio left wing and Ben Rama behind it. What are you laughing at? I'm not clicking on it. It's
okay.
It's funny, but I don't know if it's
appropriate.
Yeah, I'll get Charlie on. I'll get Charlie to read it. I'll get Charlie to read it to himself and I'll get his reaction. Hopefully Charlie's missed it. Actually, let's get him on now then. Charlie, have you seen the joke?
Is it the one that's currently in the starred thing?
Yeah, just starred it so you could find it.
I saw it. I heard you laugh. I looked up, I saw it, and I was like, Gonzo, check the starred messages. I'm going to leave now because I'm going to get myself in trouble. So I'm going to go before that.
Oh, right, okay. No worries.
He's got to come back anyway. I've got to go.
I'm about to say we were going to head off, Charlie. Don't worry about it.
We can do that now if you want. I don't mind. I just,
Yeah.
No,
I've got to go. 2-0. West Ham win. No funny business.
Yeah, go on then.
And all that stuff.
Cheers, Gonzo. Thank you.
Bye.
You okay though, Charlie? You all right to stay? I can cover for you if you need to go do something.
No. I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready.
I did 2-0 on the preview. I'm sticking with 2-0, Charlie. I think defensively, when I did the live video last night, I quite enjoyed doing them because it brings up topics that I wasn't intending on discussing. When you do your videos every day, you choose a topic essentially. I choose what to talk about. So when I do the live ones, and there's only 150 people tuning in, which I appreciate, but it means the topic suggestions are less. So then you almost have to take what you're given. And we started discussing somebody asked a question, will Moyes get the best out of our attacking players at West Ham? Now, ultimately, my answer was no in regards to Paqueta. I said, no, he will not get the best out of Lucas Paqueta. Now, I'd argue there's evidence here to back this up. To some extent, there's Nikola Vlasic. Felipe Anderson smashing it at Lazio, scored again at the weekend against Napoli this time. He's doing really well. But forget them to some extent. Fornals are different players, so on. But what I said, I counteracted that by saying what Moyes will do, though, is get the best out of your defenders. Craig Dawson's probably playing the best football of his career. I imagine he is. And I imagine there's a lot of defenders will play their best football under David Moyes' manager. He will get the best out of your defence because he offers that protection in front of them, so on and so forth. So for that reason, Bournemouth, when I spoke to Kirk and did the opposition preview with him, and he said, we don't score goals in the first half. And while I laughed, I said, don't worry, neither do we. There was an element of me thinking, well, we bloody better picked up on this, West Ham. We better picked up that Bournemouth don't score in the first half. There's got to be something in that, whether it's their game plan or they're just slow starters. We can't have this attitude, we'll keep it tight and let's flip it. When I did my video moaning about Moyes' attitude against Liverpool the other day, and one of my friends messaged me and said, yeah, but you can't go to Anfield and attack them for 90 minutes like we did in the last half hour. They'll whip you apart. I said, well, do it for the first half hour. Try and go a goal up and then defend a 1-0 lead. It's better than defending a 0-0, surely, to... last half hour you defend a 1-0 lead rather than chasing a 1-0 loss. It's got to be better to start quick and then sort it out. A bit like how Tottenham try and play under Antonio Conte, get that goal and shut up shop. But like what Burnley have done under Dyche for years. And so anyway, I'm confident that Bournemouth will only score one tonight.
I've got
most.
2 points for you. The first one I would say is I think Moyes is setting up to win. I just think we disagree on how to go about it, right? I think he sets up thinking I'm going to try and nick a goal here, but in his head, that's the best way to go about it. It's just at the end, there's nothing to lose. But the second thing, I'd ask you this. Do you think you would say the same? You know how you were just saying about players playing better under Moyes? Like defenders would play better, to have some of the best time. Would you say the same of a defender like Kehrer, who is who's more comfortable on the ball? Or do you think that would only count for someone like Dawson, who suits the style? Because Kehrer is not someone who necessarily suits the style, although maybe as the season goes on, we've spoken about this times and times again on Analytics on patreon.com/HammerChat, but the idea of potentially changing style. Would you think you would say the same about him then?
I get what you're saying, because he is a different type of centre-back to Dawson and Zuma. And this is why I'm intrigued by Aguero, because apparently he's this ball-playing centre-back, and I'm almost a bit like, well, come on then, let's see how Moyes deals with one of these then, because it's not necessarily something we've had at West Ham. Bonner's all right on the ball, but he's not the best. I think we've almost seen some games. I think we've seen Kehrer at his best already, I think, when he first came in. I think we've possibly seen him at his worst over 90 minutes. I don't think we've seen him at his worst yet, because, like I said, I do think there's a penalty and a red card coming this season in separate instance from him. He'll come out and he'll be at fault for a goal this season when he comes out and does something rash. And that's when it'll be interesting to see how Moyes reacts, because I'd imagine he can be quite unforgiving with things like that, Moyes. I think when you make a major error like that, it's like out the team. You're not doing that kind of thing. So possibly not actually Kehrer under Moyes, but Moyes might actually be the manager Thilo Kehrer needs. Says, no, you don't do that, mate. Get your reins on and get back in defence. I think Moyes could actually improve Thilo Kehrer as a centre back. The problem is he plays for Germany, and I think when he goes on international duty, he's like, no, you don't play like you do at West Ham here, son. No. You've got to be good on the ball playing for Germany. You can't sit back and hoof it away kind of thing. So I actually think long term, I do actually think Moyes will be good for Thilo Kehrer. So like I said, so while he's not good for the attacking players, defensively, Flynn Down should relish playing under David Moyes. What? All you want me to do is break play up and pass it. I can do that. You don't want creativity. Oh, brilliant, because that's the one thing I'm not that great at. Flynn Down should really, really shine under David Moyes as a player, because Moyes will allow him to do the defensive side of it. That's why Souček's in the team, because of his defensive contribution. Downs will be able to provide just a reasonable defensive contribution as well going forward. So therefore, establish himself under David Moyes. But anyway, right, I am going to disappear, my friend.
Fair. Well, thank you very much, Geo, and thank you to Gonzo, wherever he may be. And thank you all for watching. I hope you're all good. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all looking forward to an exciting Premier League game of football. It's West Ham United versus Bournemouth at the London Stadium, and there's some former West Ham people to talk about in Bournemouth's team, isn't there? But before we get to that, I'd like to ask you all a question on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham win today? Thank you very much, Wayne. Appreciate it. The bells, I fed them into myself as quickly as humanly possible. Probably a bad thing to do when you got food poisoning, but I did it anyway and rejuvenated. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. The streak has been lost, ladies and gentlemen, which is a shame, but we will come back. The stream will come back. The streak begins again, you know? The string, you go on a big winning streak and then you lose one. It's like, right, time to pick yourself up and win again. That's what today is. And let's have a look at the lineup, shall we? While you will get those numbers in. I'm intrigued. We obviously had the poll earlier. A little bit different. We're looking for a bit more nuance here. A little bit more nuance. So while we do that, let's have a look at the lineups. West Ham lineup as such. Fabianski in goal with Johnson, Kehrer, Zuma and Cresswell in defence, looking like a traditional 4 at the back here with Rice, Souček and probably Downs ahead of them. It looks like a 4-3-3 because ahead of them it looks like we've got Bowen, Ben Rama and Skamaka. You can see how that would be a traditional 4-3-3. Now, of course, without Fornals dropping deep, you're probably going to see Downs a little bit more central potentially with Ben Rama and Skamaka, like Ben Rama, Bowen, Skamaka. Bowen doesn't tend to drop deep too much anymore. It looks like a 4-3-3 to me. It could be something else. It could be a 4-4-2. Hey, it might be 5. Who knows? Probably not. Not me. But I'm saying it's a 4 with West Ham's bench being Areola, Randolph, Soufal, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Ogbonna, Coventry, and Emerson. Let's have a look at some of these confidence levels. Good to see you, Richard. And thank you, everyone, by the way. I saw you all. I saw when Gio announced, I was in the background when Gio announced that I couldn't do the show last week because I was still typing things. And I'd see people going, the streak is over. So I appreciate it. 6, 7, 8, 6, 6, 5 plus 5 equals 10. Love that, Ruben. Big confidence levels. Amy's at a 7. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you, John. I am. It was just food poisoning. So, you get over it after a while. Just did some days of just not funness. And to be fair, it wasn't too bad after 24 hours, a bit of a Fair enough, Lewis. Fair enough. Wouldn't recommend it, but I've had worse things said to me. 7, 6, 7, 6.5, 7, 6, 5, 8. Let me know if I'm still quiet. I'm going to try and turn it up slightly. Let me know if I'm still quiet. I do see you people saying I'm a bit quiet, so I've just tried to turn it up there. Let me know if I'm still quiet. 7, 6, 7, 10 out of 10, brother. Come on, Stuart. Let's go. 5. Still saying I'm very quiet. Okay, let me know. Hi, Charlie from Rhodes. Good to see you, Steve. Hope Rhodes is treating you well, my friend. Coming through with a 7.5. There's lots of sort of no. It's nothing really super low. The lowest we're getting is sort of in the 5 range, but sort of some middling and then some big high confidence as well. You're looking at Dazza, for example, who's rocking up with a 9, with Fredericks, the team, only a 5 now. Scary prospect. Let's have a look at Bournemouth's team. They are lining up as such. Neto in goal with a back. I think they're going with this back 3, back 5 system they've got going on. So I believe it will be Smith, Mepham, and Sensi in defence with Tavernier and Fredericks on either side of them. Not sure which way round that's going to be yet. You have a midfield of Cook and Lerma with Billing and Christie just ahead and just behind Solanke. Solanke still trying to make his way as a Premier League striker. We'll see how it goes. Their subs today, in order, obviously down there you have a sort of rough, I think that's numerical order maybe, but in terms of positional order, you have Travers, Zamora, Stevens, Stacey, Rothwell, Pearson, Stanislas, Moore and Anthony. Interesting names in the team, of course. You're looking at the likes of Ryan Fredericks, obviously fast, going to get in behind, going to be slightly scary on whatever side, and he'll probably know that our weakness is just run it to the byline, pull it back, something he's very good at. A little bit concerning, although it is Ryan Fredericks, and I've seen Bournemouth people not super jazzed that he's starting. There's literally a tweet down here somewhere that I saw was just saying he shouldn't start. You're looking at also Stanislas, of course, former Hammer. Always good to see him in the Bournemouth setup, to be honest. I get quite excited about it. And it was just various people we've been linked with. Billing, we were linked with Cook, we were linked with Mep, and we were linked with Kiefer Moore. Just lots of people we were linked with. Can't lie. It's just, I mean, as Gonzo said, though, we are linked with literally everyone, so that's just the way it goes sometimes. Not that one. That one. Here we go. Let's keep having a look at some of these numbers. And let's have a look, actually, at what we're saying about volume. Volume up, please. Charlie, your level is a tad low tonight. We're going 8, 10, 5.9, 0 out of 10. Not confident at all. Only 3 attackers, says Steve. Steve is sort of, you know, close. So I'm not a 0, but I'm certainly less confident enough. Undertaker streak was only 21. You will go down in history. Thank you, US. Thank you, US. I am very much the Undertaker of West Ham. It has been said. There was a period where I disappeared and then came back against my brother in a match at Madison Square Garden. That was a very specific reference, and I apologise. 7, 10. That's better volume. Okay, good. Level good now. Okay, good. I shan't touch it again. 7. Perfect. You are now audible. Scenes, a solid 6. Gamaka hat-trick, you love that. How is it a must-win game? Will we be relegated if you lose? No, English nature. But here's what I would say in terms of that whole idea is when you're looking at teams like Bournemouth and the position we're in, they're sort of comfortably in mid-table. They've been doing okay, lots of draws. That has to be a sort of bread and butter win in a sense for us. At the beginning of the season, Geo goes on about this all the time, but you look at all the fixtures and you tick them off. You go, that's 3 points, that's 1 point, that's 0 points, whatever. You look at Bournemouth, you go, that is comfortably a win. And so I think in terms of must win, I wouldn't describe it as must win either. I don't think it is must win, but it's a should win game, if you see what I'm saying. You look at our lineup, you look at their lineup, you look at where we should be, you look at where they are right now, you go, right, this is a should win game. We win this, we go ahead of them, we continue our climb up the table towards mid-table, and it feels like it's in a better position. So I wouldn't personally call it must win, but I would certainly call it a should win game. I think that's fair. That is Stanislas as in Junior, Ross. That is Junior Stanislas himself. FSB. FSB. Yeah. If you wish to watch the game for free, there are definitely ways you can do it, my friend. What I would suggest you do is have a look down in the link in the description below. You'll find down there something called Join Our Discord. If you click on that, it's completely free to join. West Ham Hammers Chat Community, fans of all clubs, welcome. But more importantly, at the left-hand side, if you scroll down, there's a bit called Street Links. And you will find, hopefully, what you're looking for, probably just before the game or just after kickoff. It's usually give or take 5 minutes. Days like today, where the kickoff's later, it's usually slightly quicker. But yeah, obviously, because it's on Sky, so I'm in my holiday home with the boy. I haven't tried this button. Let's just press it, see what happens. Oh, he's off. Hang on, no, I could just move the camera. Hang on. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Yes. There we go. With the boy. So it will be lucky for all of us. I understand, but all I hear on the radio from fans of teams now is that the next game is a must-win and the manager gets to sack. Yeah, I think the moment of time for Moyes being sacked has probably passed right now. I think there was a moment a couple of games ago where it felt like if losses continued, then it would have been a deep situation. But at this point, I would say it's probably past that. But talking of Moyes, let's play Sub Bingo, shall we? Sub Bingo is, of course, the game where we predict where David Moyes will make his first substitution. I will put the subs on screen. You don't have to say who's coming on for who. The time is the only one that matters. But if you want to put a little bit of sauce on there, get your people in. I'm going to say 69 minutes. I'm going to say it'll be Downs for 4 hours. Downs for 4 hours. And it's Ben Rama for 4 hours in the 69th minute. That's my one. Still can't believe Triple H is West Ham fan. Wild. I don't know if I believe it, but still wild. Woody, good to see. My money's on Downs to score tonight. No idea why, Charlie. If you were a Bournemouth boss, how would you instruct them to approach the game? That's a great question. That's an excellent. Was there? I missed this completely, Dave. I'm sorry. I got distracted to sort of words AEW. I've missed this and I'm fuming about it. It's a great question, Woody. I would probably say, realistically, it's finding that space in behind. The problem is we've got a team lineup today where we're very functional. You know what I mean? We're a very functional side. It's a case of looking at Rice, Souček, and Downs, and you're thinking, right, as long as we sort of get the basics right today, we should be able to stop them scoring. You've got basically what would be the first choice defence, barring probably putting Dawson in there for one of the two of them, probably Zuma at the moment, given he's injured or whatever. Or maybe he's injured, I don't know. He seems like he's injured to me. You'd probably say lobbing Dawson in there. But outside of that, that's probably your first choice defence. Rice, Souček, Downs is a very sort of functional midfield. So really, the weaknesses for us aren't crossing, but we're going to give you that space with this lineup. So if we do get, or if Bournemouth were to get that space down the wings, which is probably what they would get, take it to the byline, pullbacks. We do not deal well with pullbacks ever. And that's where someone like Ryan Fredericks is actually really good, because it was something he was great at, which is why I would say if they're not playing him on the right-hand side tonight, it's probably a mistake, because you want him to get in there, pull back, especially if they are playing the back three system. He's going to get very high, and he's going to be able to do that. Outside of that, don't bother crossing it. It's not going to work. Although Kerr is weaker in the end and Dawson, I still wouldn't recommend it. And it's just about finding those pockets of space in behind Rice, Souček, and Downs. But with this three, I'm not entirely certain how much space there's going to be. It feels like there should be less. But maybe with someone else in there, they have a little bit of license to get forward. I don't know. Maybe there is a bit of space in there. Apart from that, I play defensive football. Usually works against us, right? Right. I bet dad 2-1, mum 2-0, son 3-2, daughter 4. Who's 4? I know. Come on, you Zuzka. You love to see it. You love to see it. Some big score lines, and hopefully I'll come true. We'll be talking about score predictions in just a second. Let's look at some of these sub bingos. Amy saying 65, 74, 20. Feeling a brave Moyes 55 minutes sub. Yeah, that's bold. That's bold. 59, 62, 80. Emerson for Benny. 55 Downs for 4 nails. That was sort of one I was thinking of as well, Max. 70th minute, Antonio for Benny. 7 today, says Chris. I'm assuming that's on confidence levels as opposed to subs. That's why something really has gone wrong. Really good gaming. Hope you well. Stuart's hitting with 4-4-2. It feels potentially, I don't know. We'll see. My gut says it probably is a 4-4-2, even though it looks like a 4-3-3. 30 minutes, 4 nails for Ben Rama after we concede a goal on Johnson's side. Stress. But also stress. 74, 58, 65, 56 Fredericks for Fredericks. Very exciting sub that would be. Scott completely sent me for a loop there. Do you know what it was? I started typing Fredericks first because I knew Fredericks was playing, and then I didn't go back and change it when I did the order in the correct order. So I was stupid. Was what happened there. It was dumb of me. It was dumb because I'm stupid. Who knows, John? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you well. Hope you're having a good day. It was a bad night for me. It was a bad 36 hours for me. Proper headless chicken on Wednesday, mate. I'm sorry. I apologise. Like I said, the streak's gone. Now it's time to build the new streak. Let's have a look at some of these score predictions. Lob them in chat. We're seeing people getting them in there. Lob them in. I'll, of course, put the line up along the bottom of the screen. Now we've spoken about sub bingo. We can get that off. Get your score predictions in chat, ladies and gentlemen. 5-1, 2-0, 4-0. 71st minute says oh, I can respect it. 4-0. 64th minute says Tasman. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a sort of, a slightly early one. I would describe that as slightly early if you're talking about David Moyes' standards, but still. There's going to be a bunch of sideways poking around the area with not much penetration, just like my love life. We've all been there. And maybe still are there. Who knows? While we're talking about score predictions and while we're getting them in there, hope you are. I'm getting there. Also, James, how are you, sir? If you're not subscribed to E20 Zone TV already, get on it. James, if you're still in chat, very quickly, is the competition still running? I saw you put up the video yesterday. I watched it. And I've literally instantly, was it yesterday or maybe it was the day before? But I've forgotten instantly when you said that it was closing. I think you said it was Thursday it was closing, right? The competition for the 2 t-shirts, for a Paqueta and for a Skamaka shirt on your channel. I think you said Thursday closing. If you're still there, let people know in chat. But if you haven't subscribed to James already, make sure to do that. While you're all doing that, I'll remind you all to subscribe in general, because we, of course, have lots of videos going on. We'll be the only channel last year who did a watch along every year, although it doesn't feel the same saying that now. I missed one last on Wednesday. It doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? doesn't hit the same. So I can say we're the only channel who are going to have it one every single time from now on this season. That's where we go, ladies and gentlemen. The streak begins, and it's going to happen. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, because we, of course, upload all throughout the week as well and have a live match review straight after this. On top of that, hit the like button. We've been flying recently, and then we had Wednesday off, and so I was a bit like, is the momentum for the likes gone? Again, I'm looking at them right now, 283 already. 283 already. Just flying all over the shop. You know what I mean? Just flying all over the shop. Cyber, by the way, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. So, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, because we could potentially, we've got 5 minutes until kickoff. We could very, very realistically hit that 300 mark before kickoff, and that would be huge. That would be huge. Which the West Ham lineup will not finish the game today for me. It's Ben Rama, Downs, and Skamaka. I would say, yeah, Skamaka, Downs. Yeah, actually, I'd 100% agree with you. I think those are the 3 that would be guaranteed subbed off. You've nailed that, Woody. I've got nothing else to add. You've absolutely pinged that one. The big guy from the Italian Mafia, Scott. Let's go. Big plays. Good to see you, Mr. Podge. It's running until Thursday. I was correct. There we go. Lob E20X was in the comments of one of James's video, not here. He won't see it if it's here. You've got to go over to his channel, lob it in the comments of one of his thing, and to win a little cheeky Christmas present from James, which I can't lie, would like to get involved with. Might go and do it myself after this, because I don't think I've done it yet. HammersChatStore.com, by the way, for a mug that I designed and drew. Put a lot of effort into. You know? Judas, my trustworthy friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you're having a reliable time this evening. 3-1-4-1. Hong Kong says Guy. Big plays from Guy. Living it up in HK. Hope you're well, Guy. 3-1, 2-1. We are massive. 3-1. If the handyman turns up, meaning I missed the game, 5-0 probably. M. Collingwood, then for our sake, I hope he does. I hope he does. For your sake, I hope he doesn't. But for our sake, I hope he does. How many episodes was Streak? I don't actually know, Lewis. It's a good point. I should have looked it up, because I knew it was every single game last season. And then there were more before the season before that. And then there was some this season. So we're talking like an Arsenal undefeated streak situation here, where it sort of spreads across seasons. So I should look into this number. And then start a new streak counter. Do you know what I mean? And then just prove to Mark Calloway that I am the superior. You know? I don't, Cyber. I don't. I think if it had happened a couple of games ago, then potentially. But at this point, I think he's safe. He's safe. Seeing the word 300 in chat, we're at 308. You love to see it. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for the 308 likes. There we go. We'll see where we can get to by half time, and then we'll just see where we're at. But then it's all free. We're free real estate now. It's free real estate now. We can do what we want with it. I think we'll score 3 in the first half, then capitulate in the second half and score a late winner 4-3. Pontefract is going for a stressful evening. A very stressful evening is what Pontefract's saying. I'm getting rid of the beard. I've just made a decision. It's going tonight. That's a bold prediction, Pontefract, and I like it. We are just a minute away from kickoff. Just 2 minutes away from kickoff. So before I do that, actually, I've just seen this. Listen, Kate. Continue doing what you're doing. Whatever you're looking at your phone is way more interesting than me. But what you should be looking at on your phone, Kate, is the One Football app. Okay, it's a lovely app that is sponsoring the video that you can download right now, Kate. Kate, what I'm saying to you, right, Kate, is if you've ever wondered what Geo and Gonzo, how they get those lineups, right, as it happens, it's the One Football app. It's a beautiful app, Kate. That means you can only watch the things that you only have to see the things that you want to see. So it might be a case of maybe you don't want to look at West Ham stuff. You don't have to follow West Ham. You could just follow every other team and just get their news. Maybe you only want to hear about West Ham, and so you don't have to, maybe you could get more involved in the videos, Kate. I don't know. It's up to you, Kate. But what I'm saying is you could do it using the One Football app. It's a beautiful thing that I would highly recommend everyone, but specifically Kate, looks into. Link is in the description below and probably the comments at some point. Thank you very much, One Football, for sponsoring us once again. And Kate, let me know when you download it, how it feels, how it goes. What's your thoughts on the app? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, kickoff is just moments away. So if you are only here for the build-up show, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. Your likes, your subs, all of that good stuff is always much, much appreciated. However, Remember, we are live throughout the entire game. So if you want to watch, hang out, talk with fellow West Ham fans, all that good stuff, I highly recommend you sticking around. I would like it. I need it because I'm here by myself. If you're not here, this whole watch long thing, it just doesn't make sense because I do it by myself. Remember, come back at half time if you do want to hear some specific West Ham info, because Geo will be back and he'll be able to actually talk about, football stuff intelligently and not like an idiot like I do. And then, of course, at full time, we will have the match review with Geo and Gonzo. However, before then, there is 90 minutes of football to go. It's West Ham United. Hang on. My stomach was going wild. I apologise. It's West Ham United. It's Bournemouth in the Premier League, live at the London Stadium. It's a big opportunity. We win. We skip ahead of Bournemouth into that sort of mid-table range. Disgraceful behaviour. Absolutely disgraceful behaviour. You hate to see it. Luke, good to see you, my friend. 3 points, please. Exactly. Yes. Deploy the boy. Come on, JJ knows. JJ knows. Paul's back. We're rocking and we're rolling, people. We're rocking and we're rolling. I'm not convinced it's 4-4-2, but also if it was 4-4-2, I would not be distracted. I would not be surprised, is the word I was looking for there. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary O'Neill shaking the hands of the opposition. That's them for once, not us. Shout out Gary O'Neill, one of those players who just sort of went about his business, do you know what I mean? Not a legend of the game, not a legend of West Ham, but someone who just did his job. You know what I mean? He did his job. It's gonna be a frustrating afternoon for me trying to actually watch the game, because I don't know if you've ever known this, but the connection out here in North Carolina is not the one. It's not the one. Hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll be fine. Bournemouth to kick off. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles rings out around the London Stadium, one last time, West Ham United versus Bournemouth in the Premier League. Bournemouth doing maybe better than some people expected at this stage in the season after the start they had. Us probably doing worse. We'll see how it goes as Bournemouth kick off. Deploy the boys. Come on, you Irons. It's time to run two things. That's what we're saying. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Oh, thank God. JJ, damn it. JJ, damn it. How dare you? Instantaneously, I've had a massive time skip, so let's just figure that out. That's right, as I slam the desk, JJ. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe if I slam the desk, we speed up. But it is definitely four at the back. I'm looking at it now. Rice seems to be the guy sort of in that deep-lying pocket position. I mean, it makes sense, right? That Downs would be the guy to just instantaneously replace Paqueta in terms of formation, right? That kind of makes sense to me. Whether that's going ahead or not. We'll see. 4-3-3. We're getting confirmations of 4-3-3. Man, them deployed. Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul. Ben Rama is definitely wide left. Rice is sort of the one who's sitting deeper. He's sort of dropping into the position between almost the fullbacks. If you imagine two centre-backs and fullbacks like that, that's really confusing. Two centre-backs, fullback. Rice is sort of in this position here, coming deep to try and pick up the ball. As everything goes a little bit wrong for me, but that's fine. It's going to be a rocky couple of minutes in the early stages. I can't lie to you. In terms of what's going on my screen specifically. We'll see how it goes. Oh, we'll take that one. It's a bit further ahead than we were. And Downs looks to be... I'm interested to see, because Souček does seem to be on the right-hand side. Souček does seem to be on the right-hand side of the three, as it were. You have Rice in the sort of centre, and then I believe, what I would suspect Downs being on the left. But that's where I'm interested to see where his sort of position ends up laying out. If this is a sort of 4-3-3, last time we played that, from off the top of my head, was Nottingham Forest, and we were really good in that game. So I'd be interested to see if that's how you play out. Although, I'll be honest, it looks a little bit... Right now, Bournemouth are in possession of the ball. They're sort of passing it around at the back. And I'll be real with you, it looks more like a 4-2-3-1 with Downs as a sort of number 10. He's very high. He's very high and very central. So it feels almost like a 4-2-3-1 a little bit. Winning is the only option. Like I say, I wouldn't describe it as a must-win. I would describe it as a should-win. Because if you're not winning this game, especially in the position we're in, then you start to have to ask questions. Well, since the football is actually boring, let's bring up debate, I'll bring us crisp or not. Mr. Pardew, first of all, disgraceful. It's only been a couple of minutes, although you would know early doors. But secondly, like if there's anyone I trust to bring up levels of football, it's my mentor, my guru. However, I would say harsh to judge it that early. But also, it's not a debate. They're crisps, and anyone who thinks they aren't crisps are wrong. Including Gonzo. And I'd say that to his face. Today, 1 goal from the West Ham scorer should make it match of the jersey number and scored goal minute. You love to see it, Ritesh. You love to see it. That's what I'm predicting. Whatever, all that. That's what I want. Marley, good to see you. Hope you're well. It's only a matter of time before Moyes moves down to right back or striker. Listen, he's all over the shop. You got to respect it. See, because I would expect that Souček would, if we are playing a 4-2-3, naturally it feels right that you'd put Souček in the position that it seems that your boy Downs is in. But who knows? It's thrown to West Ham. Johnson and Rice linking up is quite dangerous and scary, but we manage it. West Ham then beginning the horseshoe back from the right-hand side across to the left. Cresswell was a nice ball into the Skamaka, who's a really nice turn, puts a cross box. Ooh, it was nicely done from Skamaka there. He gets the control, holds off the defender, turns. That's a foul. That's as foul as the day is long, apparently, according to my phrasing there. Lewis Cook taking down. I'm not sure who it was. Really nice play from Skamaka, though. He gets the control down, just kills it perfectly. He's under control, I think, from his Mepham. Turns him. And then Ryan Fredericks just trying to track Benrahma completely bowls over the defender who was marking Skamaka. And thankfully, from Bournemouth's perspective, they managed to get it away. But you respect it. You've got to respect it. It's a free kick in a good position. It's basically corner 2 territory. We're in that corner quadrant, right? The bit where you have the corner, you have the bit that comes down, you have the edge of the area. In that quadrant, the corner quadrant, ladies and gentlemen. Both Benrahma and Cresswell standing over it. Not sure which one's going to end up... I mean, a shot would be wasteful from here, so you'd think Cresswell's going to take it. He leaves it, and Benrahma hits it, and it hits the side netting. I was going to say, it felt like it would probably be a little bit wasteful, and it does end up hitting the side netting, but some okay early signs. Ryan Fredericks, if you're wondering, is playing at right wing back, on the right hand side. I guess it is a wing back. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking it's a 3, so he would be right wing back. Which again, from their point of view, get to that byline, pull backs of what's dangerous against us. It would make sense to play him on the right. If you play him on the left, it's a bit of a waste. Really interesting. I think that's a good appointment. Honestly, I think that's a good appointment. I quite like Emery as a manager. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I think that's a good appointment for them. And given he is my mentor, I would obviously have to pick Pardew every day of the week. Given he is my mentor, it'd be disgraceful if I didn't. It'd be just he taught me everything I knew. You know, if I was to go against him on such a personal level, I feel like it would be disgraceful, wrong, and an insult to his teachings. I think Emery is a decent appointment, to be honest. Throw in from Bournemouth on the right-hand side. It's just a long throw. Thankfully, they're American footballing it. They're gaining those yards. It's another throw, but thankfully not as effective as... Well, maybe it's because it's Ryan Fredericks taking it that it was a poor throw-in. You know? He learnt from the worst, as it were. Having said that, they still have the ball, although... After a little bit of passing, a little bit of dribbling, they somehow managed to get a throw-in from almost the exact same position they were. He has done for a while though. Good evening indeed. He has done for a while, Chris. I agree. It concerns me. We need a centre back fit. And if Ogbonna's not starting, then clearly he's not fit enough to start in the Premier League yet. So we need someone back fit enough to play in the Premier League quite badly to give him a rest, in my opinion. We'll see how that ends up playing out, but that's what feels like he's just desperate for at this stage. Just nice, calm. Background pressing, just forcing Bournemouth to go back to their defence and then kick it long. Little bit of head tennis, and they end up getting the ball into a fairly decent position with Ryan Fredericks out on the right-hand side. He's taking on Aaron Cresswell. He knows he's going to beat him. He dinks it. It was a bold play to try and dink it from Ryan Fredericks into Solanke. It's come back to Solanke a second time, and Jesus Christ, Fabianski gets his... Ooh, Fabianski gets to it. It stops, it dribbles out, and then Kera manages to play it away to Ben Rama. But flipping heck, there was a moment there where that was terrifying. Fredericks was going forward up and 1v1 against Cresswell, who was in a fairly strong position. And so Fredericks sort of goes inside, which Karen Cresswell probably wasn't expecting, and decides to dink it into the box for Dominic Solanke, who Zuma, with a little bit of an awkward clearance, was nowhere near sort of a problem. But yeah, Downs is playing almost as a 10 in a 4-2-3-1. But a little bit of bouncing around later, and then Bournemouth, I was going to call them Villa there for a second, Bournemouth almost gaining a golden opportunity. When they just decide against it, they are all at the back. They are terrified right now. By the way, the goalkeeper just had the ball, and they were standing there holding it for ages. Literally stood still. Every single player was stood still. All of Bournemouth's, all of West Ham's. Nothing happens. Ben Rama takes on one, beats him, gets out muscled by a second, and Bournemouth managed to scramble it away, but only to the feet of Declan Rice. I tell you what, you look at this Bournemouth defence right now, you're thinking they are definitely there to be got at. You're going to have to get in there. Declan Rice, big, nice diag across to Ben Johnson. On that right-hand side, looking for the cross. Can't quite find it. It's good defending. Good defending by whoever's on that other side. I'm not sure. To Souček, who was forced to pass it back to Zuma. And again, we go for the other horseshoe. We go from here all the way around, and then we work our way back up again, and all the way around, and we work our way back up again until eventually we cross the ball into no one who can head the ball. It's a grand old scene, but we're doing it again. Thomas Souček currently in the centre circle. Laying it shot to Declan Rice, also in the centre circle. Feels like a FIFA drill, a FIFA passing drill. Ben Johnson lays it off to Bowen. Yeah, Downs is definitely it's a 4-2-3-1, at least as far as I read it. People in chat, how do you feel about formations of what we're looking at right now? James, I'm looking at you. Mr. Pardew, I'm looking at you. People who would talk formations and stuff. It looks like a 4-2-3-1 to me with Downs as a 10. That's what it feels like to me. Zuma looking for a big ping cross diag, it just not hit very well, and thankfully it lands at the feet of Declan Rice, and we managed to work our way forward with it. Downs, nice turning, looks comfortable on the ball, does well, finds Cresswell out on the left hand side, puts it into a good space. Unfortunately, it's to the head. Oh, it was Thomas Souček. It was just on top of his head. It sort of bounces up and over, nowhere close to it. It was nicely worked in the end. That was a little bit quicker. That's what you need to do if you want to. If you're so insistent on playing the horseshoe, you do need a bit of pace to get into sort of good crossing positions. Unfortunately, Souček always a little bit underneath it, and it ends up going up and over. Stu, my friend, how are you, sir? How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Having a grand old time. Obviously, this weekend's results didn't go great for you personally, but hope you are well. And as I say, as usual, if you haven't subscribed to the Disabled Team, Leeds fan, Stu, lovely guy, doing big bits over there. Himself, Lee, making great videos. But I would also say, extra time, Friday show, Friday nights, with 2 West Ham fans and another Leeds fan. We're talking Titch, we're talking CD, we're talking Titch from Hams United, we're talking CD. Kieran, who has been in this live chat many times. I would highly recommend it. It's one of my favourite shows on YouTube. But I hope you are, Stu. Hope you are. More like a 4-1-4-1. Rice, them two. That's number 8s. 4-4-2. Okay. Lerma, crossfield ball. Fredericks tries to head it back across to Solanke, and Rice with an emphatic boot. An emphatic boot from Declan Rice on his weak foot. Just boots it out into row. Well, I mean, the stands are quite far away at London Stadium, so probably like row C as opposed to Z. But you know what I'm saying. Listen, Ian, I would lose my mind, and I'll quite happily admit that. I would completely and utterly lose my mind. It is how it is. It is how it is. Sometimes you've just got to respect a legend when you see him. And Lewis Belmore is that guy. I will now stop talking about Lewis Belmore. Although, as Richard does say, Gary O'Neill is, and I'm trying my hardest not to talk about it. Because Gary O'Neill is in the opposition dugout today. I'm trying. Anyway, Zuma's on the ball. West Ham in the defence, just sort of passing it around. No real... It's just my frustration. Zuma was stood still for 5-6 seconds with the ball just at his feet. Not a single person moving around. It ends up going back to Fabianski, who tries a big crossfield dive. Doesn't work out very well for me. One of my frustrations with us, just a lack of movement a lot of the time. That situation there, Zuma stands on the ball, he holds it, he's looking around. There's literally no one to pass to. Two teams playing relatively similar right now. Billing, that's a nice ball into Solanke, who the reverse pass was a decent idea, but Zuma cuts it out fairly easily, and Declan Rice, who goes a little bit further forward, and we've been forced to pass backwards twice in a row. Very annoying. Very annoying. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Morte does mean death, doesn't it? Isn't it? Portuguese? Brazil, they speak Portuguese. Does it mean death? Boa Morte? I might be wrong about that. I don't speak Portuguese. I'm not Brazilian, so, you know. Kera, that's a nice pass into Skamaka. The idea was nice. I tell you what, putting up Ryan Fredericks, just man-marking Ben Rama is not a bad shout. The ball in there from Kera was nice. He sort of strides into some open space and puts in a really... it's just confident, weak foot pass through to Skamaka in the D, who first touch lays it off to Ben Rama, which is nice. But Fredericks just has that pace where he can keep up with Ben Rama very well. Wally, if you see this, your boy's doing bits, bro. Your boy's doing bits. Saw Wally on a video on the West Ham YouTube channel today. The Philly thing, it was very exciting. Shout out to the King of Prussia. Oh, in Latin. That makes more sense than Portuguese. That makes a lot more sense than Portuguese. Thank you. Thank you. I thought it meant death somehow. You know? Maybe it's Assassin's Creed. Somebody in the back of my head just lodged that in there. Good work by Bowen. Good work. Slides in, stops it, and we win a free kick from it. It's good work. Good work, Jambo. Never ever start like a man. Never. No. It's not something we do. Annoyingly. It's just not our vibe. You know? It's just incisive, though. It's incisive. It's someone who's just used to doing that sort of stuff, you know? Because it's a risk. I'm getting hiccups, I'm getting... But it's all kind of... It's, you know, just to step up and someone who's used to doing it and just something the rest of our players aren't a lot of the time. Oh, that's a nice pass by Declan Rice outside the right bit. Bowen. Nice idea. Ben Rama does well to find Bowen again, but is a little bit ahead of him. Good, nice pass from Declan Rice, though, there to say outside of the right boot. First time. Oh, that is an awful piece of defending from West Ham. And now Bournemouth are on the way, thankfully. I'm not sure who that is. Tavernier went for what can only be described as the jugular. And it was awful. It was awful. All of a sudden, on a breakaway, they caught out. And it was care of just an awful, awful piece of defending. I don't know what he was trying to do. He seems to try and pass it. I don't know. But Tavernier goes for a Papi Cisse against Chelsea-style hit from that sort of range, that sort of area. Can't quite do it. Skamaka was a nice idea to try and find Bone. Doesn't quite work out. Because for a Papi Cisse-style hit and just no was the answer to that. Skamaka, it was a nice try of a through ball through to Bowen there. One of those ones where you put him into a really nice position, but just can't quite make the most of it. Can't quite get on the end of it. Too far ahead of him. And Bournemouth have a goal kick. Passing it around, playing it out from back again. Flynn Downs just pushing, pressing. Back out wide down left to Tavernier. He's got Billing on the overlap. He's got Solanke in the centre. He finds Billing in the corner quadrant looking for the cross. Does hit it. It was not a bad cross. Someone's attacking it far post. I thought it was Fredericks. And then the Cook on the follow-up can't quite make it work. Quick throw, though, by Fabianski. Nice to Declan Rice. Play it now. Play it now. Play it now. Play it now. You're going to have to be forced to pass backwards. Play it now. Play it now. Rice passes it to Zuma. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Cresswell finds Rice. Short to Ben Rama. Souček lays it in towards Bowen. Just passing it around. Oh, that's a nice ball. That's a really nice ball to Ben Johnson, who's in the area. Pulls it across. Ben Rama can't hit it. Flynn Downs, great opportunity. Hits it off the defender. Cresswell again on the follow-up. Hits it. Oh, save from Neto. A great hit from Cresswell. In the end, forces the save from Neto. Just a couple of opportunities made from a beautiful pass from Jared Bowen. Sees the run from Ben Johnson, and that is a beautiful weak foot chip through ball. L1 triangle stuff. Finds Johnson, who pulls it back looking for Ben Rama. Can't quite get there. Lands at the feet of Downs, who strikes it first. Hits off a Bournemouth defender. Lays up nicely for Aaron Cresswell, who takes a touch and then just hits a pile driver. And Neto saves it. Big hit. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Here's the corner. Corner. Zuma is getting absolutely bullied in the centre there. Bowen pulled across. Not great. Not a great corner. Johnson hooks it back towards Bowen, who stays on side, but that touch was way too heavy and it's going to go straight out. Yeah, I'm going to be... Yeah, unfortunately, the lag from the UK to North Idaho, which is definitely where I am, is obviously a little bit, plus YouTube lag and all that. So I'm a little bit, but minute's not bad. Minute's not bad. Minute's not bad. We do miss Craig massively in those situations. I can't lie. I mean, you look at the situation there. Or Bowen. Oh, Skamaka. It was just a touch off. I feel like once these threes, Bowen, Skamaka, and Ben Rama, I feel like they're getting close to doing something special, but it's just not quite. It's just always a little bit off so far. But yeah, I feel like from corners there, you're looking. It's something that Cal Goodall from Analytics United brought up on a podcast recently, which we also do, of course, on Hamalytics on patreon.com/HammerChat. Ryan Fredericks, by the way, just steaming forward, taking a ball past at least two people there. What a guy. Watch Hamalytics on patreon.com/HammerChat, link in the description below. Probably one of my three favorite shows. My three favorite things I do on Hammer's Chat: watch along, Hamalytics, and then of course Two Spanners, One Hammer with my boy Ray. The latter two, of course, Patreon videos. Oh, that's a nice ball to Smacker. Give him some support. That's really nice. It's Souček. Oh, good save. Oh, there's another good opportunity. I think offside gets called in the end, but that was a really nice play. Really nice play. Casper, welcome. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're well. It's been okay from us. Not great. I can't lie. It's not been the most exciting game of football you've ever seen in your life from us, but it's been all right. You know. Certainly could be better, but realistically, given what we're usually like, I'm not against it. We've created some chances. There was another good one there for Souček. It lands to the end of him after a nice piece of play. I think it ends up being a offside in the end. Anyway, I'm trying to find the match. But Skamaka pulls it back across. I can see a replay now. Skamaka pulls it back across, and Souček just arriving late. He just can't quite get the connection he wants on it. Hits off a sort of double foot type situation, and unfortunately, doesn't work out. But close. I think it's been all right. But anyone else letting where is it? Let Casper know how the game's been going. Do hit it up in chat. Casper, welcome, by the way. Hope you're well. West Ham passing it around at the back. We've had probably, you'd say we've had the better chances. Listen, we're trying. I'm a bit behind now. I'm like 30 seconds behind where I was now because of reasons. Thank you, bro. I had food poisoning on Wednesday, so I couldn't do the show. Thankfully, I'm all right now, though. Thankfully, I'm all good now. Well, Christie hits it from range. And it was significantly over. Or was that Tavernier? Or it might be Tavernier, actually. Hits it from range, left foot, outside the box, high and wide, nowhere close. Not that deep. There was one specific goal line scramble, Casper, that was quite scary for Bournemouth about 5 minutes ago, They had an opportunity for it came from Ryan Fredericks, steaming down the right hand side, dinks it across. Slanky can't get onto his head, but a little bit of a mess in the centre with a bunch of players, and all of a sudden they had a good opportunity, but West Ham ended up clearing it away. But nothing too dangerous. Nothing too dangerous. Corner to West Ham. Ryan Fredericks. Tell you what, Ryan Fredericks is just breathing heavier than I do when I know there's a pizza in the oven. Do you know what I mean? Just hyperventilating almost. He's having a good game though. It's going to be a corner to West Ham on the left-hand side. Aaron Cresswell's going to take it, I believe. Whipped in to no one in particular. It's cleared away from Bournemouth, and it's going to be another corner. It wasn't a bad corner, to be fair. It wasn't a bad corner at all, but it just wasn't quite. It wasn't quite. Well, there was just no one there, basically. Cresswell's going to take it again. You'd suspect this one would be worse. They usually are on second attempts. Cresswell puts it in. Skamaka gets his head onto it. Can't quite happen. He's claiming handball. It was very, very close to the Bournemouth player. Incredibly close to the Bournemouth player. And then a little bit of awkward passing from Bournemouth, maybe playing themselves into trouble. Billing trying to collect the ball from a chipped ball outwards. Battle from Thomas Souček. It's going to be a throw. So we're seeing the header down with the handball. Skamaka rises, hits it. I mean, it hits his hand. It hits his hand, and his hand is in an not only was his hand in an unnatural position, he was in an unnatural position. He was down on his knees, begging, please. No, he was down on his knees. His arm's up here. The header comes in, it hits his arm, and then he sort of goes, and he goes down. Now, I don't think it's a foul because it's unbelievably close. Unbelievably close. However, what I would say is it's very much on his hands. That's a really nice ball out wide to Aaron Cresswell, who just about makes it. That's nice. Getting the support he needs. He lays it short to Biden Rama. Rice hits it from range. Laid short, and it's a waste, I'm going to be honest, from Declan Rice. But still, we recycle possession. Aaron Cresswell gets it in. That's over everyone. Waste again, but West Ham collects it once more. Zuma out to Ben Johnson. Let's collect it. Let's get something going. Early cross from Johnson. Awkwardly touched. Skamaka can't quite get there. It didn't go anywhere. It ends up landing at the feet. Skamaka tries to just turn around and hit it. Can't. And now Bournemouth can get it away. A waste. A waste from Declan Rice. It should have passed it to a better option. Still. You still turn me on. You can make me whole again. What a song, by the way. Looking back at where we first met. What a tune. What a tune. I'm going to have to listen to that for at least an hour after this now. What a belter. What a belter. Souček collects the ball, lays it short to Declan Rice. Out wide to Johnson on the touchline. He's got Bowen ahead of him. He finds him, who instantly picks up the ball and sprints. And when I say sprints with the ball, I mean sprints 15 yards backwards before laying it off to Kehrer. Just sometimes you don't have to run. It felt like you're playing FIFA and you don't know how you don't have to let go of sprint. You can let go of sprint. He was just going. It's all right, man. You could stop, you can turn, you could do. You know what I mean? Put it in my hole again, you know? Ben Rama, a little couple of step overs wide on the left-hand side, lays it short to Souček, dinks it out further to Aaron Cresswell, puts in. It's not a bad cross. Neto collects it, but it wasn't bad. Simpsons, I think it's right, you know. I just look at it And I just think there's something with this front three. And to be fair, Bowen and Skamaka have been playing relatively well together. Ben Rama's a sort of new thing here, and it's not quite. There's just one pass missing, something like that. It's just something slightly missing. But outside of that, it's looking good enough to where when it all fully clicks, and a team that, and I think that Bowen is a nice run. Jefferson Lerma does really well there to stop him. Just really solidly gets that one away, and then a bit of awkwardness from very awkward from Bournemouth. Press. Solanke's really deep right now. Just keep pressing. Good work from Thomas Souček and Declan Rice. Declan Rice gets it away. Souček stabs it quickly out. Ben Rama goes down. That's no foul. Goes down way too easy and then puts his hand up. Yeah, I feel like it's just something there. You know, I feel like a little bit of passing, a little bit of shush. When it happens, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. I don't have any ready. There are none in the house. I have not gone shopping in like 3 days, and I have eaten them all. So there are no baby balls ready. Disgraceful from me. Hands up. Disgraceful from me. There's orange juice. We could change it for an orange juice today. I don't know if it's worked previously. I can't remember, but if you feel it, I don't know. Bournemouth passing it around. Half an hour in, not being the most exciting game you're ever going to see in your life. Feels like a situation in which, again, there's definitely something there for us. Bournemouth defensively look a little bit suspect, but we can't quite find that final pass. We're fizzing in these low passes. The crossing stuff is West Ham crossing stuff. That's just what happens. But we're fizzing in these low passes in and around the area, and it feels like... Just having a look at the challenge on Ben Rama again. I think it's contact, but it just is what it is. It's just... But we're not quite there yet. You know, we're not quite finding that final pass. We're not quite finding that final touch. And Bournemouth aren't really getting close to it either. So, a half an hour in, not one for the neutrals. Sky are probably regretting picking this one. I'm annoyed it's not BT Sport, so I can watch it in an easy way. I don't know. There's lots of, there's lots of things. Bowen with a foul on, not sure who. It's a clash of heads. Gary O'Neill and Dominic Solanke having a conversation. Looks like a 1-0 scrapper to me, potentially. As long as it's us, don't care. As long as it's us, don't care. But at the same time, yeah, a little bit. They do have that vibe. Major. I know exactly what you mean. My nan had the same. Does feel like that. Welding. Doing a bit of welding. I'm a welder, Neil. Is all I can say. Good to see you, by the way. I'm a welder. I weld. It's all about the wrist. Here is a spoon. Here is a phone. Welded. After last week's game, we aren't in a very good position. Yeah. I mean, we're not in a great position. I mean, again, it's just about Stevie C as well. It's just about finding that momentum again. So like I say, if it is a scrappy 1-0 win, as long as it's us, I don't really care. I would prefer the performances. I'm more concerned about the performances. And there's something here because they will come and over time that will get there. But at the same time, Thank you. Slowly, I mean, it was a rough 36 hours, but I'm weld now. I'm all weld. Charlie, you should right to left one for a good fishbone pattern. What, are you talking like that? Is that what that is? Because if so, I know that because I'm a welder. If not, Not a true welding technique, I know. Zuma plays it to Kera. West Ham passing it around at the back. Ben Johnson gets caught by Tavernier, but ends up booting it out to Skamaka. This is a good opportunity. Skamaka off downs. Skamaka he does well to keep control of the ball. Fights off Lerma, lays it short to Declan Rice. Tries to find Ben Rama, pulls it back across. Oh, it was close. It was close. It was just behind Bowen. It was a really nice opportunity. It doesn't quite work out. Just that pull across almost makes it work. That was welding, Woody. I don't know if you knew about that as well. It's not the best place to go on a school night, is it? If we're being honest, I've done it many a time. Not the best place to go on a school night. Neto is down for Bournemouth. Could be a situation in which they have to substitute their goalkeeper, which you wouldn't want to see. You never like an injury, but their substitute goalkeeper, who I think is Travers, is out warming up. Neto is he's in deep in conversation with the physio. Yeah, as he clears it away under pressure from Skamaka, he just feels something in the back of his leg and then he goes down. Is that true? Was he playing then? Was before they signed that? Mad. Get him in. Get him in. Not for these reasons, obviously. Don't want to see anyone injury back. But get him in. Get him in. Any small infringement. To be fair, he does look like he was legit injured there. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a bit annoying as the goalkeeper because otherwise they would have to receive treatment off the thing. It looks like Travers is going to come on. He's warming up. So the treatment has to happen sort of on the field because it's not like they can just play on without a goalkeeper. It is annoying, but he did look in a lot of pain. To be fair, the second he kicked it, he did start. Something did happen to him. You know. Who's your favourite backwards from West? Can I be honest and say that I've never watched it? Can I be honest and say I've never watched it? Is that a disgraceful comment to make? Probably. I've never watched it. I'm sorry. I wish I have. Are any of them called Greg? If so, that one. You? Rice lays it short to Jared Bowen. Johnson looking to try and get forward. Down the right-hand side, Bowen picks it up. Souček. Oh, it's an awful pass. And now Solanke charging down. He's got Kera on top of him. Kera should deal with this. But Solanke does well. Drives it all the way to Fabianski. And his shot, thankfully, was incredibly tame. Kera does well there. Just kept showing him further and further over to the left-hand side. But yet another awful pass at the back from West Ham. The two biggest Bournemouth opportunities have come from just lackadaisical passing from us. And Kera does well to recover that time. Just keeps on top of him. Shoves him out well. And then just puts Solanke into a position where he has to just hit it. Hit it. And now Solanke's gone down. We are going to see the goalkeeper subbed, I believe. This game's getting very bitty now in terms of just stop-starty. You know what I mean? Not in terms of fighty, just in terms of stop-starty. I think Neto... Ooh, maybe Neto's not going to come up. He sort of gives a thumbs up to the bench. He's still stretching in a weird way, but Solanke is down in the meantime for Bournemouth. Biggest issue starting so poor against a team like that is Moyes pins the blame on the usual guys. Benny will get hooked for 4 hours. Yeah. 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 It's... Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's frustrating when you look at it because obviously... It's frustrating when you look at it because obviously, realistically, like, we saw it's the tactics that are to blame. It's not necessarily the individuals. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Dominic Solanke is still down, by the way. I'll let you know what happens there. Kiefer Moore light warming up. Big bloke coming on. Like, Ben Rama's not done great today. He's got into some interesting positions. I think Fredericks has defended well against him. I think it's close to being really good, but it's just not quite there yet. But it's close to being really good. The formation's a bit weird to me. I still can't quite figure out what way. I still can't quite figure out the formation. Again, to me, it really does just sit like in defence at least, it sits like a 4-2-3-1 with Downs being the sort of guy in the hole. Defensively, attacking wise, it's a bit more fluid. Souček's getting forward. Rice is taking the ball forward. Downs is just not sort of existing. Play finally carries on. Solanke is going to come straight back on again. And Neto is still on the pitch, so who knows. But yeah, it just doesn't feel... I don't know, it's just not... I'm not saying he's been bad, to be fair, Richard, at all. I'm not going to sit here and say he's been bad. That's definitely not what it is. It's just that, like, out of the front three, he's been maybe the lesser one. Like, I feel like he's done all right when he's wide late. I'm changing my mind as I say it. I think he's been fine, Richard. I think he's been fine. I'm changing my mind as I say it. Go on, Skamaka. Push him. It's completely headless chicken Robert Snodgrass pressing, but screw it. Push him. Go on. Go ham. Good position, though. Ben Rama does well. Takes it on the inside. Just no one giving him any options whatsoever. He's forced back to Johnson, who can then who can find Downs on the overlap from Cresswell. Rice back out to Downs. Cresswell's on the underlap. Downs puts it into a decent position, but there was no one there. Headed away from Bournemouth. And Declan Rice wins a free kick. It lands at the feet of Declan Rice, who then just holds off foul. We'll take that. Excellent description of it, Martin. Unreal description of it. Free kick, false alarm. False alarm. It's going to be Aaron Cresswell to take. Deep left hand side, puts it into a fairly decent position. Zuma always over the top of it, headers it. And somehow Bowen manages to keep that one in. Fair play. It was an awful header, and it looked like it went out there, but Bowen managed to keep it in. Souček manages to sort of nod it inwards again. West Ham trying to flick it up. Poor pass from Souček. Can't quite manage it. Johnson's not a bad pass. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad. West Ham maintain possession of the ball, and that's the important thing. They're sitting very deep, Bournemouth. They're very happy to just allow us to let us into that position. Ben Rama comes into a good position. Skamaka's in there. Souček is in there. No one can quite get on the end of it. Was that even Souček? It might not have been Souček, you know. Can't tell who it was. I think it was Souček. Close. It's a good point, Paul. It's a good point. I mean... 1-0. Us, Chris. I'm not convinced by that though. 0-0 sounds more likely. It's a good point. I mean, when they're playing nowhere near our levels right now, which is a good thing. It's a very nice thing actually to be able to look at this and go, we'll be able to step up from this. But right now, there's not much going on, is there? There's not much going on. Nice pass from Cresswell into the feet of Syed Benrahma. It's a nice idea to try and find Bowen. It was way ahead of him. To be fair, Benrahma works hard to try and get that one back. But, yeah. Out wide to Fredericks on the right-hand side. Ryan Fredericks, he's dipping this way and that, trying to find a space. Can't quite manage it. Laid short. And then the ball, the inward through ball doesn't quite work out. Just rung Sky for a refund. Yeah, screw Sky. It's their fault. Nothing to do with us. I've changed my mind. It's all them. Screw it. Blame. What's the guy's name who owns B Sky B? Murdoch. Blame Murdoch. Corner, ladies and gentlemen. Corner, 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 corner. Solanke's going to go down and Kiefer Moore's going to come on for him, by the way. Karma Chameleon, that's what I was aiming for. Corner, 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 corner. On comes Kiefer Moore. Huge man for Dominic Solanke. Big man, but not quite as big as Kiefer Moore. Cardiff player, former Cardiff player. We were linked very heavily with him at one point. It was very much people thought like AI is a big lump to play up front kind of signing. Felt like he sort of made his mark in the Championship and it was time for him to try and step up into the Premier League. Felt like a big jump for him. Whether or not it works out, we'll see. But in he comes to defend the corner. It's the right time for the large man, Kiefer Moore, to come on. Corner from the left-hand side for West Ham. Bowen to take it. Puts it in. Header. Oh, headed away. Back in again. Oh, it's in. I don't know who got the last touch. Zuma's wheeling away from it. It looked like down to me for a second, but it's in. It's in. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. We'll be taking that all day. Got no flipping clue what was going on with there. There was something happening in there. God knows what. But we'll take it. We will take it. Bowen to play it in. Whips it in. The initial header away. I think it hits off Downs last, you know. It hits off Kera's hand. Then it's nodded away. Souček headers it back towards goal. And it is Kurt Zouma with a nice little finish. 1-0. They're claiming for handball, but if that gets disallowed, that's wild to me. That's wild to me if that gets disallowed. I mean, to be honest with you, I should not change it. I should not change it. The thing is, the ball comes in and it definitely hits Kera on the hands. But the thing is about Kera is his hands are down like this. He's doing the DX thing. His hands are here and it hits here. I don't know how much more could his hands be in his body shape. And it's not like he gains any sort of positivity from that. Because... Goal given. We take it. I was going to say, there's no way he gets even the remotest advantage from that. It wasn't even close to getting an advantage from it. His hands are down like this. It hits his hands 100%. We can't act like it does not hit his hands. It hits his hands. But it comes off and then they clear it away. Then there's another header in. And then there's a second header. So it's not even like it's direct. It could not be less of a handball, in my opinion. It hits his hand. But it could not be less of it. His hands are here. It could not be more in his body if he tried. Do you know what I mean? Scenes. Let's go. Yes. Listen, mentally that was a Downs goal. Even if it was Zouma who had technically headed it in last. I'm keeping it, Woody. I'm keeping it. I'm loving it as well. 1-0 West Ham. We'll take that all day. It's been a bit of a dead one. Bournemouth looking to waste as much time as possible. Respect it. Lerma getting involved in that. Awkward, but we'll take it. And now it's about capitalising. Let's put them to the sword. Let's get emphatic with it. Get emphatic with it. No. That's nothing. Ignore that. Come on. 1 more minute. It's 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've got 1 more minute of stoppage time to play. Yes, Peter. We're 10th. The season's going well. Let's put the blinkers on and ignore the situation at hand. We'll take that. A win today puts us above Bournemouth, puts us solidly mid-table. And we'll be happy with that. Basics are like West Ham, everything is difficult. Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Like I said, I was looking at this lineup today and I was thinking, as long as we get the basics right, we should be okay. We've not really done that perfectly. It's a bit disappointing, but the point is we're 1-0 up and we're in a really strong position for the second half. When we score earlier, the earlier we score, when we score first, it's much better for us. Eternal, I saw it, hang on. Eternal, my friend, give me a second. There it is. 4:49. Starting to lose my patience with these players. I'm always getting found out. The players are like, exam paper let it down. Listen, again, we've all been there, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for 4.99. Massively appreciate it. I saw it happen out of the corner of my eye. There was just a chat was going wild, and I saw it and I started it. I apologize. I knew I had to bring it back. Thank you. I appreciate it. Eternal. Enter tie nerd. I don't know what I was saying. Eternal nerd? Enter nerd? Thank you very much, regardless. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's up for half time. And the score here is West Ham United 1, Bournemouth 0. Up to 10th. Bournemouth in 14th. You hate to see it. 45 minutes, Zuma goal, headed. Hits off the hand. Well, last year is second, what he thinks about it. But to be honest with you, it's a goal. I don't see how that one gets disallowed. He didn't get an advantage from it. His hands are in like that. Enter tie nerd. Thank you. I don't know. My brain was seeing Eternal. I'm an idiot. Enter tie nerd. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you for the 4.49. I'll put your name in the thing in a second. But yeah, it's a stress. The mighty Hammers. Welcome to Hammers chat. West Ham United, of course, and of course I do. Shannon, of course I do. Of course I do. Welcome. I would say it was a goal. I think I'm relatively level-headed with these things. To be fair, I think I'm relatively level-headed about these things, Stu. I think I look at that one, and there's a couple of things for me. One, do West Ham gain an advantage from it? No, they don't. It doesn't hit his hands and then it goes in. It doesn't hit his hands and then Zuma hits it in or whatever. He hits his hand, Bournemouth clear it away, then there's a header back in, and then Zuma gets the final touch and it goes in. And then the second thing is, where are his hands? And if we'll bring Danny into play. Right? If Danny is carer in this situation, right, his hands are here. They are within the silhouette of his body. They are here. And so it's not like his hands are in an awkward, weird position. You know, there was the Bournemouth one earlier on in the game where his hands are in a very unnatural position where he's down on the floor and his arms up like that. It's nowhere close to that, right? He just happens to be in that position. I think I'm relatively level-headed and say that is not a handball. Maybe I get proved wrong enough time. I don't know. But let's talk to someone who actually understands what they know. Geo, is it handball?
And if I was a Bournemouth fan, I'd be angry, but I'm not. So
I don't think it is. I'll be honest. I was just explaining it. I don't think it is. I think one, we don't gain an advantage from it, and two, his hands could not be more within his shadow if he tried.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I think the rule used to be anyway that if it just hits any hand, any arm, any hand, it's a handball. And I used to think that was the fairest way because then it rules out the interpretation of
That's fair. Yeah.
is it accidental, blah, blah, blah. Just remove any grey areas. But it's all this phasing as well now you get in the league, isn't it? It's like Antonio's goal. It wasn't handball because
Now that
a chance to
was
clear it.
1000% a handball.
Yeah, but this is the wording of the ruling, isn't it? If Antonio scored his initial chance, handball, but because he didn't, Fulham had a chance to clear it, the goal stood. It's a bit like that tonight. After Kerr handballs it, a Bournemouth player is able to head the ball away. Unfortunately, his header was straight at Thomas Souček, who then headed it back towards the goal kind of thing. So it's wild how things like this happens, but I don't really care, to be honest with you, at this point.
How do you feel about the rest of the game?
It's scrappy. You know, we even our half chances that we're getting, they're half chances at best. They're scrappy. It almost reminds me of being at school, you know, when the ball lands in 18-yard and there's just 5 people just winging a leg at it and hoping for something to happen. I'm pleased Solanke's gone off, I'll be honest with you. I think, you know, Kiefer Moore's a good target man, but he doesn't quite have the limited mobility that Solanke has, and he's hardly the paciest guy. We've been really sloppy in the first half, though, Charlie. A lot of Bournemouth's chances have come because we've done something. We've given the ball away in the halfway line or something like that. I think there's 1 or 2 players playing with good intensity for us, though. I feel like there's 1 or 2 players tonight almost trying to drive us forward a bit more than usual with whether it's with the ball or moving the ball, which is really pleasing. But it's not quite clicking. We're not playing. It's not good football or anything like that. It is a little bit ugly. I guess it is all about the 3 points and stuff like that, but I think we could be a little bit more composed. I think we are making it scrappy. I don't feel it needs to be like this, because when we are knocking it around, usually down the left-hand side, the right-hand side's non-existent for us tonight. Again, Ben Johnson, Jared Bowen, there's absolutely nothing coming down that hand side. It's coming down with Creswell, Rice and Ben Rama over on that left side, and they're playing good football between them, but only between them. When they start involving someone else, whether it be Souček or Skamaka, Downs to some extent, it's just not quite as fluent. The crossing needs to be better. You know, we've hit a lot of crosses in, easy to defend against. I think we just need to calm down a little bit and just, we are better than this and we are better than them, and I think we need to show that in the second half.
Yeah, like you said, I think I look at the way we're going forward, and I think if we're missing that final pass, that final touch, that final just little bit of something. Like you look at the front three specifically, and I think it's so clear that when that clicks, it's going to be very, very dangerous. And right now, we're just on the precipice of it without actually it clicking yet. And it's that final part which takes us from something that's sort of not really working to someone where you go, oh, okay, there's a lot of danger here. And the last thing I want to ask you very quickly before I go to toilet, what's the formation?
4-2-3-1.
That's how I'm seeing it as well. I know we've had a bit of chat in the chat. We've heard some 4-4-3-3, some 4-1-4-1s. It screams to me that Downs is playing in the sort of...
Yeah, we've got a defensive midfielder in the number 10 role.
Why? Fair enough. Just, yeah.
I don't know. I think, in fairness, there has been times where Souček or on one occasion Rice bypassed Downs fills in. So perhaps it's just because he's quite switched on and he is able to get back, and his pressing game is really good. So having him pressing from the front arguably is a good thing as well. I think at times when Bournemouth have sees it is we don't need the creativity to come from Flynn Downs, perhaps. You know, I thought he almost scored, Charlie. I thought he was going to score when he lined up that shot in the 18-yard. I thought, come on! But no, it wasn't to be.
I guess as well, if you're in that space, if you're in a tight pocket of space, you trust him on the ball to find a little bit of space than you see. I guess. Fair enough. Also, I knew I always liked Dyche. More guy. All right, I'll speak to you in a second, Jim.
Thank you very much. Right, let's see what you're all saying in the live chat then. Get your thoughts in. Let's have a little look. Bertie says Bournemouth is playing really negative. Hopefully we'll get more space in the second half. He would like to see Mikhail and Antonio. Kevin thinks Ben Rama doesn't know what to do with the ball. He's been good, but there's been 1 or 2 moments. I know what you're saying, Kevin. I do know. But what I will say is in defence of Ben Rama is at least he drives at the opposition. Yeah, I think he's probably one of the few players that gets it and just goes at the defender and just forces the defender to backpedal. I don't think we've got enough of those in the team at the minute. I know I'm clutching at straws here, but it's refreshing to see it sometimes, and it just moves Bournemouth back a little bit. It makes him a little bit nervous. And Anthony says it wasn't exactly fluid football for much of the time. It took 20 minutes before we looked live. They've been better than them, but that's not saying much. Poor game, but always better second half. Lewis says we're a third of the way through the season now. When will we see us play excellent or even very well? Feels like we discuss the same issues each week and we do attack to our full potential. Let's have a look. Ionic says this first half performance against Bournemouth does not bode well for playing the bigger clubs. Steve says there is no creativity in midfield. RTL says who is the home team? Glenn says we rely on Rice and Skamaka to do everything, no individual initiative. Martin says we've got too much defensive players. Paul's got Downs to score and be carded in the game. Major says if we do win 1-0 from that goal, it will be paper over the cracks. Fuzzy says Downs has been great, very persistent, able to win the ball back at important moments. Let's see what you're all saying. Stevie says he would like to see Finals on for Souček at half time. Antonio on the hour mark for Skamaka. Let's see what you're saying as well. Everybody's saying the sound was rubbish. Hopefully it's fixed now. Hopefully it's fixed. Okay, well, people are saying the sound's good. Some are saying it's cutting out. I don't know which it is really. Ismar is happy with the hoodie. There you go. Lucky says if you refresh it, it's fine. Adrian says the same as thank you, you two. Oh, I didn't even notice the audio cut out. I guess this is the problem when I'm behind with the audio. Anyway, right, let's carry on going with what you're all saying. KM says Johnson's rubbish. Forget Finals for God's sake. Martin says we need to get Antonio on for the quick ball. Skamaka and Antonio up front, says Lackey. Get Bowen on the right and Downs moves next to Declan Rice. Get Souček off. Gad says Antonio on for Ben Rama. Manu on for Souček. Johnny would like Souček to be replaced as well. I have to say his passing, I'm going to agree with Mark here. Passing is terrible. Maybe try Downs further back and get Lanzini on in his current position. That pass that released Solanke was bad. And then there was that, we had a corner, didn't we? Or it was a free kick. For whatever reason, it came out and Souček tried to side foot it back into the danger area. It was just really poor technique. It was it almost like again launched a counter attack against us. He's not had the best half so far. However, he's looked okay getting in the box, but this is where it could probably do with him getting in the box a bit more. James says, why doesn't Downs play defensive mid? Is Moyes scared that he will be poor? Realistically, walks into the Bournemouth teams is more than capable. I think there might be an element of trust. James, I do think I think that's the impression I got at Anfield, that he trusted Rice and Souček to guard the back four, but perhaps not Downs yet. But like I said, I think Downs' pressing game is quite impressive, actually. And I think we're seeing it a little bit today. And having somebody that can go and hassle the centre-back and win the ball off the centre-back in games like this is maybe not the worst idea in the world. Now, I'm not trying to say that that's what I would do. I'm just trying to justify the inclusion of Flynn Downs in the position he's currently in. And it's somehow working, but I appreciate that doing that means you're missing that perhaps more creative player. I do think Pablo Finals coming on for Thomas Souček might not be a bad thing. Stevie says Bournemouth time wasting was atrocious. At least the game opens up. In fairness, I think he was injured. Solanke was injured. He's gone off, and I do think their keeper looks injured as well. Toby says Dermot Gallagher said the goal's correct. Change of rules says that because Kerr didn't score, it comes down to whether the handball was intentional or not. It wasn't, so it's a goal. Paperball says TalkSport make it sound like one-way traffic. I mean, it kind of is. I guess this is the problem with the radio. You don't always you want to listen to the radio, close your eyes and imagine what's happening on the football pitch. And West Ham have had majority of possession. We are knocking about, but we're just not really creating anything. And at times it's a little bit scrappy. And I think the problem is like I said, any Bournemouth chance in that first half, we did it. We caused it. Kerr caused one. He lost the ball at one point, and then when the ball came out and he tried to sort of hook it back to Zuma, and he hooked it past Zuma and released Tavernier down the left-hand side. Very poor cross, but our own fault. Souček released Solanke, our own fault. And it's just sloppiness from our teams. It's just sloppiness. Right, let's have a little look. Joe says, not that impressive. Agree, no creativity in midfield. Sloppy passing, just want 3 points. Dave G agrees with me. The only chance that they've had, we gave them. Knight on the Tiles says, of course, I'll take any kind of win, but our play is pretty average at best. Juicy P would like Antonio on with Scamacca and change Souček for finals in the number 10 role. Who would you take off, Juicy P? Hopefully I'll catch you before Charlie returns. Who would you take off for Antonio then? Come on, then. Let's see. Let's see who you're saying. Nick says some decent progressive passing through the lines. Kerr has been great for that. Do you know something? I think we've done a couple of nice passes as well. Declan Rice had one outside of his foot. I think Creswell's passing has been really good. But I don't know if it's just because I'm a Creswell fanboy. I'm getting a lot. I feel like I get a lot more criticism for liking Creswell more than any other player at the minute. So I'm trying to not praise Creswell too much. But I think he's having a good game. I think he's playing well. Right, let's see. Let's see. The guy says Creswell's playing WK. I don't know what WK means. I'm missing something. I hope it's. I don't know. What does that mean, Charlie? What do you think?
Is K next to B on the keyboard? No, not really. Wicked.
I hope so. I don't think it is.
I think Creswell's playing well, to be fair.
I think so too. Juicy P said he wanted Antonio on to play with Scamacca. I said, well, who are you taking off? You can't just say that. So he said, Bowen. You take off Jai Bowen.
It's a bold sub. Would you make any?
Subs? Souček for finals. Or Lanzini. But I don't know. We just need to. The two things we were lacking in the first half, Charlie. Creativity. We didn't create enough chances. Fine. But the other thing, we were just sloppy. We need composure. We just need to be a little bit calm. And I think Souček's the one that's a little bit erratic in midfield. And I think just having someone a little bit better on the ball next to Rice and Downs where we can start to control the game. We need to control this second half. Anytime Bournemouth get momentum, kill it dead. Even if it is time wasting or anything, it's not ideal, but we've got to get 3 points. It's a horrible situation we're in, 4th from bottom or 10th. You know, we've got to make sure we're 10th at the full-time whistle. The league just looks rosier. We're still only 5 points away from the the bottom of the Premier League, but we're 10th. Things just feel a little bit better tomorrow morning. We need to get the 3 points, and I think to do that, you've got to just chill things out. But the funny thing is, if you said to me who's our most likely goal scorer in the second half, probably the third on my list would be Thomas Souček. Big part to play in the goal as well. Got the assist tonight. So it's funny, isn't it? He's probably the most likely creator for Bournemouth and West Ham.
It is what it is. Thankfully, Geo, they've changed their goalkeeper around, so you might get some more goals this. Head on off, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear more of Geo, then I would highly recommend you stick around because at full time, Geo will be back to discuss the game at length with Gonzo. Like I said, substitution has happened to have Travers has come on for Neto, and as someone said, he conceded an insane amount of goals at the beginning of the season. You love to see it. But in the meantime, something else you'd love to see is the One Football app, ladies and gentlemen. They are sponsoring us once again today. Just check it out. Link in the description below. They allow you to follow only the things you care about. So if you're fed up of hearing about, I don't know, Tory party politics in your Twitter feed, burn that off, mate. Download the One Football app and just click follow West Ham, and it'll only give you the West Ham United news. If you wonder how Geo and Gonzo get the lineups just before the build-up show, that's how they do it. It's the One Football app. Link is in the description below. It's a beautiful, wonderful app, and they sponsor us. They've sponsored us a lot, so we are very thankful to them as well. Hit that link, help us out, help yourselves out with the One Football app. It's kicked off, ladies and gentlemen, at the London Stadium. No substitutions from West Ham's side, but Travers has come on for Bournemouth. You'll be interested to see how the team lines up. It looks to be exactly the same as it was right now, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. We'll see how that ends up playing out. Rice is the interesting thing about this system for me is that Rice is the one sitting deep. I would have thought if you were going to play these three in sort of midfield, and I would never have picked Downs as the 10, but if you were going to play these three in midfield, it would be Downs as the sitter. But for some reason, he's picked Declan Rice today. I think that's maybe because he trusts Downs the least. And he puts the players in the position he trusts them in. Therefore, you see Souček and Rice being in a double pivot as you would expect with Downs just ahead of him. But it just feels quite weird to me. It does feel quite weird to me. Souček up to Skamaka. I mean, as Geo said, there's a certain heading, like sort of like generating abilities. Ooh, he hits it from range. Nowhere it goes. That feels like it could happen, you know. But I don't know. It's all very odd to me. Enter Thai Nerd. I'm putting your name in now. I'm an idiot. I forgot to do it before. I apologise. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you cannot underestimate how much I wanted to say Eternal Nerd there. It was deep in me. I wanted to badly. Appreciate you for the 449 and full time. Bournemouth, of course, made 2 of the substitutions already. It doesn't surprise me that David Moyes hasn't changed a single thing at halftime. I'm looking at it now, and we're playing the exact same formation. We're basically playing the exact same way we were, or at least at initial glance, right? And it doesn't necessarily surprise me as a guy who is as reactive as possible with David Moyes. Jared Bowen going for one of his trademark sprints backwards. Then making a change to striker right before halftime probably put them in a position where, Ben Rama's in a good position here. The pass to Souček wasn't quite the one, but it was almost there. It was close. He pressed it in. Sorry, not Souček. Skamaka, he played it into his feet and spinning, can't quite get there. It doesn't surprise me with a reactive manager that he's going to wait and see how changing the striker changes everything for Bournemouth before doing anything. Not that he was likely to do anything at halftime anyway. That's not his style, but you know what I'm trying to say. Ben Rama out wide on the left-hand side again, finds Declan Rice to Cresswell. Ooh, not a bad cross at all, but just couldn't quite get there, a little bit high. Also, lovely bit of warble from the commentator. I don't know who the commentator is. I recognise the voice, but I can never tell. He went with Cresswell. It was very exciting. It was very fun. Ben Rama does well. Nice nutmeg. Keeps hold of the ball off keeper more as well. He does really well there. Find a pass. Lays it short to Skamaka, who lays it off. This is where we need to be a bit better. Because Skamaka did well there. Just dropped deep, links up the play. Finds Souček, who lays it out wide. But this is where we need to be a bit better. Where we can, in that position, transition quickly into attack, you know. Because it's just a complete waste of the ball otherwise. And we are once again in full-on horseshoe mode, ladies and gentlemen. We're working our way down the left-hand side. Get very excited for when we inevitably work our way down the right. Oh, it's not a bad cross. Not a bad cross. Skamaka goes down in the centre, and then Souček arriving late. Can't quite get there, but... Abdul, I appreciate your insistence on this, and I hope for your sake that it happens. I really do. I really do. I'm sorry, Harvey. I'm sorry. I've been there many times and I wish I hadn't. So I'm sorry. I cannot imagine how dead it was for a game like... It's dead on the best day. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's not something that works. Quick throw from Bournemouth on the left-hand side. Billing, who I quite like, to be honest. He's not quite developed into the player I thought he might, but he's quite decent. I do like him. Rice linking up well. Bournemouth are pressing really well here. Nicely done by Jared Bowen. Takes it past Billing. Right as I was saying nice things about him. Skamaka. Big crossfield dive for Ben Rama. Does well. Couldn't quite find Cresswell. Goes for it from range. Over. Not bad, not bad. And again, Ben Rama's one of the few players I don't mind taking shots from range, to be honest. He's one of those players who I think I'm pretty confident will hit the target most of the time. That one, no real excuses for not hitting the target there, but I mean, apart from the range, but then you should go close, right? But I'm usually very confident in Ben Rama hitting the target. So the fact that he's gone from there, I'm not necessarily against, but we move. Rice getting bullied by 3 different Bournemouth players off the ball there. Cook. It's a nice idea to try and find Kiefer Moore. It doesn't quite work out. And it finds Ben Rama. Skamaka's ahead of him. It's a nice run from Skamaka. Bowen on the far side, not making anywhere near a run that I would like. He's looking to arrive late into the box. There's no real pressure on the back line. Skamaka still has the ball. Oh, nice pass into Ben Rama, who hits it. Leaning back. High and wide. High and wide, second shot in quick succession for Syed Ben Rama. Going high and wide. Skamaka does well, just kept controlling it. Yeah, he just gets a little bit away with him. A little bit away from him. Leans back. Swings a foot at it. Never going on target. It is what it is. Yeah, definitely a brighter start. Nice. Big shout out. Where is mine? I don't know where mine is. I was wearing it the other day, so I think it's in the wash. I don't know where it is. But it's good. And I respect the decision, Dave. I respect the decision. No. Not a chance, mate. Not a chance. Not a bad start. First 10 minutes of the second half, not a bad start. Bournemouth have pressed well and they've got into interesting positions going forward, but it's not come to anything, and yet we look like we're sort of on the verge of creating something. Declan Rice, just, little stretch too far. Almost managed it. Almost. Fancy big ball forward. Bournemouth now just passing it around. They're playing very West Ham David Moyes football here. Bournemouth just sort of no real incisive passing, just sort of passing it about, looking for here and something. Not really just, anything going on. I'm not saying something might not come of it. It might do, but... And again, you've got a guy like Kiefer Moore in there. Get the ball in, just bop it into the box, see what happens. I'd back Kiefer Moore over Kehrer every day of the week. And I'd back him over Zuma probably at this moment in time. Zuma's injured, but still. 2 more substitutions from Bournemouth, making 4. About to happen. Didn't see who either of them were. Unfortunately, they're not here, Scott, so I can't. I apologise. They aren't here. Geo does all that. So they would be coming from his gaff as opposed to anywhere even close to the south. So unfortunately, not involved. Not involved. Oh, that was a big old lunge from Lerma. Yeah, he picks up a yellow card. On Skamaka, just diving in. Billing comes and talks to him. He's just... Lerma battling with Thomas Souček, who does well just to poke it away, even though he's sort of dragged in. And that's flipping heck. Looking at the replay again from Jefferson Lerma, that is... Oh, Jesus Christ! He's lucky to only get a yellow there, to some extent. I mean, if Jefferson Lerma makes proper contact there, that is an awful tackle. Comes in, basically kung fu kicks him, studs up into the side of Skamaka. That's awful. Ball played in eventually from the free kick. Does nothing. Ben Rama has the ball on the outside of the area. Takes past one. Oh, nice pass out to Cresswell on the overlap. Can't quite get the cross in, but that was a really nice stuff by Ben Rama. He was having a good second half. A couple of wild shots from range, looking like a sight. The first one was decent, second one was not there, but played across. Ooh, played across from Jared Bowen, and Travers ends up collecting the ball, but close in. That was an awful challenge from there. I haven't seen him, so I don't know. Madman, are you here? Are you here, sir? It's 100%. Time for a goal against these passes sideways, Palmer violets. Listen, Christie comes off, first sub. Christie comes off, and the player coming on for him is Anthony, who brings on a note for, I think it was Cook. And then Ryan Fredericks, fair play to the lad. I thought he did well today. Comes off, and on in his place is Zamora. I mean, we don't sell them, but, you know. If I can see proof of them being washed, sure. I'm going to regret that. No, I've changed my mind. I'm signing nothing. Yes. The internet is the way it works, unfortunately. Unfortunately, John, it's annoying, but there's nothing I can really do about it. I'm here in North Idaho because it is on Sky Sports, and I do not have Sky Sports. So I'm here in Big Danny's holiday home in North Idaho, unable to do anything about it. It's a shame, but what can you do? Yes, I'll tell you what, Scott, email me, charliewalshvideo@gmail.com. 100%. I am also on Twitter. You can at me on Twitter at @toplad. @toplad is my Twitter account. But Scott, charliewalshvideo@gmail.com. For charity, I will 100% do it. For charity, I'll do it. That's calm with me. That's an insane thing, and I'm back at 10,000% for charity. I get about all the Norths. Welding, you know? Welding. Not really happening for us right now. There is not, thank Christ. I would respectfully back out of that. Scott, email me. I'll deal with all the postage and stuff. You do the donate to charity, and we'll figure it out. But email me. An hour gone. We've probably been slightly the better side in this half. We've been all right. We've looked lively. Last sort of little while there, it's sort of died down a little bit. It's sort of still not quite clicking for us. Still not quite clicking. Not right now. Not right now. Maybe, but not right now. Oscar Macron has control on the box, lays it short to Bowen, who hits it straight off a Bournemouth defender. All of a sudden, he did look like scoring, apparently. Ben Rama, a couple of step overs, nice little back heel for Cresswell, puts it in towards Bowen, can't quite get there. Lays short to Declan Rice, don't shoot. To be fair, he forces a save from the goalkeeper. That was better than I thought it was. I didn't think that was going to be anywhere close to being anything, but it was decently done. Laid short to Aaron Cresswell on the left side. I don't have any bells. I've eaten them all. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. I've eaten them all. Free kick to West Ham. Bowen bundled over by Zamora. Not that one. I think he's doing well. We're not really providing him any opportunities, but I think he's doing well. I want to feed him. I want to feed him more, but it's not really happening. But I think he's doing all right. I think I could see a second goal in this game for us specifically. Like, don't get me wrong, they could score, but it doesn't really feel like they're close to doing it. Whereas I feel like we are sort of on the door in the second half. Not in a big way. We're not knocking. We're just sort of outside the end of the garden path, looking in. Ball played in from the free kick was god awful. Let's not talk about it. You know, we're at the end of the garden path, sort of having a little look. Like, you know, is this the right house? Checking the phone. All that stuff. You know. I'll be honest, Abdul. I don't think you're gonna get 2 more goals in this game. I'll be honest with you, I don't. My computer's warning me it's overheating. Very confused. Very confused. Do you know what? Whatever, computer. Whatever. In this weather, you ain't overheating. Lerma sends Jared Bowen for dinner. Forward comes Zamora. Out wide to Anthony. Oof. Billing trying to find his way in there. Can't quite do it. Again, they're finding a little bit of joy, Bournemouth. Skamaka fouls him, apparently. Finding a little bit of joy. Not super keen. Feel like we maybe need a sub or two right now, you know? Feel like we need to just change this game up a little bit. The vectors, they're not working as they once were. And I feel like we need a little bit of something. It comes back from the replay straight into Fabianski. Rolls it out quickly, nicely this time. Go on. Rice charging forward. Finds Ben Rama. Skamaka on the far side. He's not really got any options, Ben Rama, apart from take it past 18 people. Finds Declan Rice as all of the momentum just comes to a massive standstill. Ben Rama's still on this left-hand side. Takes on the defender. We'll take a corner. I feel like we need a sub just to change the vectors of attack here. They're not quite firing as they once were, you know. We're not quite finding the spaces we once were. Bournemouth are getting a little bit more and more on top of us. It feels like the momentum's slowly swinging their way, and I prefer us to sort of get a little bit back on top of them. So maybe a sub would do nicely here. Don't think we will go for it, but feels like something that's necessary. We're going to get a corner in the meantime. Zuma and Rice are bopping about the goalkeeper. Zuma specifically is just buzzing around him like a bee. Feels weird because he's a good header, but still. Whipped in. Cresswell. Ben Rama hits it. So I think it was on target and it was just headed clear. Good hit from Ben Rama. Good hit from Ben Rama. Similar to Declan Rice, it feels like a little bit of a waste. I mean, it was far away and it was an even more awkward angle, but it was headed away. And then the throw-in or corner or whatever it was, I think it was a throw-in, as you would expect for West Ham, goes straight into somehow into a Bournemouth goal kick. But it was not bad from him. Yeah, it's frustrating, James. There's not really much going. I mean, it really has been just them today. Like I said, it feels like there's just something brewing with this front three. It's just not quite there yet, but it's fizzing under the surface, waiting to explode. But it's just solidly not exploding yet. It's such an itchy nose. Kiefer Moore fouling Kero with just his large movements. Great question, Harvey. In terms of the geopolitical nature of the situation with the Panhandle, I would say, as a North Idahoan myself, that we should keep the Panhandle personally. I think it gives the silhouette of the state character. And should Sutek play more defensively? Controversially, I heard Geo, for example, at halftime speaking about. He gets shot at for saying Cresswell's playing all right. Controversially, I think Suchek's all right where he is and what he does, but I understand it's frustrating the way he passes. I don't know how you solve a situation like Suchek, to be honest with you. But I think you can't leave him being. I don't know. This I try to, Mark. When stuff happens, I talk about it. You know. Sometimes that means I'm talking a lot about it. Sometimes it means to talk about it slightly less. Whenever something significant happens or something of note happens, even rather than even significant of note happens, I talk about it at length. But it's the ebb and flow of the game, Mark. You know, it's the ebb and flow of the way it works. Pardon me. Tavernier does really well there. Takes a past Ben Rama, and then Souček comes in and just nice tackle. Again, stuff like that. He just doesn't get plaudits for. Souček lays it off to Downs. Now West Ham can counter again. It's very sideways. It's very rugby. You're not allowed to pass forwards. It's just very slide sideways and just slightly at an angle backwards. It's very annoying when we could put forward. Samora giving away a throw. We'll take that. 68th minute. Currently, West Ham still not anywhere close to a substitution, it feels like. Again, there's something... Oh, flipping now. Kiefer Moore came flying in there on Kehrer. It felt like it was a moment there where I was scared for both Kehrer and for the goal. That's an easy foul from Jared Bowen. Just touches him or goes down. It feels... I don't know, it just doesn't quite... I don't know, it's just looking at it, and I'm just wanting something ever so slightly more. It feels like we need a sub to make it work, and it's just not quite happening. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, potentially. I mean, I feel like the thing is he's so effective from set pieces, but we've become so inept at set pieces over the last couple of years. Like, from where we were with David Moyes to where we are now, like, that difference is huge. And when we were at our peak set piece ability, he was lethal. And it's almost, we can't get rid of that. And I feel like losing him is just an admittance that we're just not going to do anything from a corner again, especially when we don't have Dawson in the team. It's really difficult to figure out. It's really difficult to figure out what to do with him. Yeah, I agree. Need another goal. Skamakrek could be this. He just stops. He did well to hold on to the ball there, but gets dispossessed in the end. He could have played the ball twice, but doesn't quite make it work. Declan Rice wins the ball back in the middle of the park. I strongly agree, James. Another goal, and then this game's done. If we could get a second goal, this game's over. Nice ball across to Ben Rama on the left-hand side. Strikes it into the area. Tries to bend it round. Can't think it's off Mepham or Cook or someone. I'm not sure who it is. Ben Rama has the ball wide on the left-hand side. It's a good defender, to be fair, from Kiefer Moore. Samuel Jackson, I did not watch it. It's something I've always wanted to watch, but I just never got around to doing. I played a PS2 game. I think it was on PS2. My gut saying it was maybe PS2, maybe it's PS3. I played a demo of a game of it, of Samurai Jack. And then I went, this seems cool. I should play this. Just never got around to watching or playing it. Disgraceful. Nice done by Souček. Good tackle by Billing. Good tackle by Thomas Souček. Two of them having a bit of a battle there. Oh, Ben Rama does nicely. Ben Rama did nicely there, just to skip past the challenge. Gets taken out in the end, but he does well. Getting the ball past Tavernier. It's going to be a yellow card in the process for Smith. Is that the same Smith who was playing right back for them last time they were in the Premier League? And he's now transitioned to centre back. Is that the same Smith? Adam Smith was his name, maybe? It's going to be a free kick to West Ham. Left-hand side, Aaron Cresswell standing over to take it. It's a crossing position. He has Ben Rama short if he wants to go for it on the outside, on a sort of overlap position. Outside of that, you've got a lot of big men in there, running on from an offside position. Comes in, Rice's initial header. Oh, nice. Rice's initial header doesn't really go anywhere. Ben Johnson on the ball on the right-hand side now, trying to take on Anthony. Puts it into a dangerous position. Nodded away. Bournemouth trying to hit on the counter-attack. slow down massively. Just not quite happening for them. Not quite happening for Bournemouth, although good tackle, Thomas Souček again. Bowen getting in there, getting a touch on it as well, vital. Bournemouth just passing it around and thankfully straight out for a throw-in. Just not great. Just not great. Like I say, I feel like there's just something to be got at from this game, 100%. We've just passed 400 likes, by the way. 407. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. 407 likes. Like I said, we were playing with house money after 300 before kickoff. You know, playing with house money. And at 407, you love to see it. You love to see it. Antonio about to come on, by the way. You love to see it. And we'll be taking that all the way to the bank. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. 20 minutes. Can we hit 500? Feels like a bold play. What could we do? Antonio coming on. Question is, who's coming off? I'll be disappointed if it's Scamacca. It will indicate full-on David Moyes football coming. He's having a joke and a laugh with Kevin Nolan right now. If it is Scamacca, it'll be full-on David Moyes football from this point forward. No two ways about it. If it will be... Which, is that a bad thing? I mean, look, Bournemouth are going to stretch themselves. Ooh. Second header from the knockdown almost works for Bournemouth. It doesn't quite work. They're going to come more and more at us in Bournemouth in this second half. They're looking more for a goal as the half goes on. And they are getting a bit of that space. And so maybe just having a guy who you can just punt it at or leave it at a bit. I wouldn't be super hyped if it is Scamacca. I would prefer it be one of the midfield three and sort of go a little bit more for it. I think I just heard the stadium announcer say Scamacca. Yeah, Scamacca's the one coming off. I don't blame Moyes for doing it. It's not the one for me. I would have done something else personally. It wasn't for me, that sub, but we're here now. Scamacca comes off and on comes Mikel Antonio. Good question. Good question, Ismail. I'm not sure. Also, I saw the jumper thing, by the way. Geo sent it to me. Glad it's keeping you warm. Didn't know that's where you were. Grand old time. But yeah, I don't know, Ismail. It's a great question. It's an excellent question. I genuinely have no clue. Wasn't his day today? Nah, we just didn't play to his strengths at all today. It just wasn't happening. It just wasn't clicking up front today, you know? Or flipping neck. Ball come through and Zuma just goes to ground. I don't even know what. It was just a scary moment in all. Just a scary, scary moment for us, but it's fine. We have the ball. It's calm now. Fabianski has the ball in his hands. We can stay calm, but it was a moment there where I was very afraid. Big ball forward straight into Mikel Antonio, who stomachs it down, it sounded like, from that connection. Johnson finds Souček nicely. I mean, I'd probably... I feel like I'm looking at the bench. I feel like... Bless me. Fornals or Lanzini maybe for Downs at this point. I'm sort of looking at the bench. I mean, it's not that Downs has played badly. I just think it's a bit just that position is just a bit wasted. And I feel like we could be doing more with it potentially. Having said that, he seems Souček is charging forward into that role now. Mikel Antonio. Oh, go on, Mickey. Does really well to keep it in. No confidence in him whatsoever. He's wobbling all over the shop, and then just a nice touch, pop, round the player. No messing. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. It's warm, man. It's a warm jumper. I really like it. I can't lie to you. I really like it. I want to wear it again. I've been wearing it. I was wearing it out the other day. I'll wear it quite a lot. Especially these winter months as they come forward. I'm going to be wearing them significantly more. I need to get involved in it. I'd be wearing it right now if it was clean. Lee, my friend, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. It's a strong shout, Richie, and I suspect, yes, I suspect yes. We're sort of at defensive. We're sort of at all-action defensive stations right now. Bournemouth stream forward. We're playing peak David Moyes football at this point. Billingham's a nice ball in, and Fabianski. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Oh my God, we've got away with that a little bit. Fabianski, the ball comes in, and it looked like an easy as all heck catch for Fabianski. Billing just puts it into a fairly innocuous area, and I think it might be a foul, maybe. Jefferson Lerma comes flying in. I think he might have been nudged even as he goes flying through the air, hits Fabianski, goes down. I think it's going to be a thing. I'll tell you what, Scott, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and look and see if there are any bells, because I don't think there are. I don't think there are any bells, right? I'm fairly certain I am, but I'll go check while I leave. Danny will keep you company. Just give me a second as West Ham will take a goal kick, foul, free kick. Right. There is not a single bell in sight. None. There's not a single bell in sight, unfortunately. Like I said, there's orange juice if you really want that, but there is no bells. There's no bells, unfortunately. It's going to be an uncomfortable end to this game a little bit. It's going to be a bit of an uncomfortable end to the game. Not going to lie. I feel like... I don't know. I just feel like we need something else. Nice control by Tavernier around Ben Rama. Big boot forward for Kiefer Moore. Goes down under pressure from Kera. Those two are going to be battling for the rest of the time, it feels like. We've got 12 minutes plus stoppage time left in this game, and I feel like it's going to be all Moore versus Kera. And Kiefer's obviously going to go up against Kera, being the weaker of the two in the air between himself and Zuma. So we're going to see him just peeling off against Kera constantly, and they are fighting right now. They're doing battle, I should say. They're not fighting. There's no physical scraps going on, don't worry. I don't disagree with you, mate. I don't disagree with you. I mean, it's something I have said a couple of times on here. I don't know how often I've said it, but I feel like there was an element of luck played in by Cook, cleared away. I feel like there has been not successfully either by West Ham. I feel like it's been an element of luck, and we've been just sort of grinding it out, like you say, grinding out wins, and now we're trying to do something more, and it's not quite there yet. I think that's the difference. Is we're trying to do this. We're trying to find. I don't even necessarily think it's sort of possession-based football. We're just trying to do something a bit different. And Moyes, who sort of consistently has changed players around, changed formation, changed 11s. We've had injuries, which hasn't helped. We've never been as settled as we were. At peak Moyes, playing the exact same 11 every single game without fail. Back. Everyone knows what they're doing, playing the exact same style of football. And now we're trying to do a little bit of a different style of football. And we're trying to do a little bit of different style of football. We're trying to step out of ourselves a little bit, different 11s that aren't quite working. And that's kind of where we're at now. It's up in the air a little bit, which is frustrating to watch because, again, this is another game where, I mean, we're grinding out the win right now, and it's very much a grind. This is one of those games where you look at it and you think a better team, a team who have themselves together right now, would be able to win this game relatively comfortably. Played in by Smith, chested down from, I think, Zamora, big handball calls against Ben Johnson. He was unfazed. West Ham were unfazed. The referee was unfazed, and then he punts it towards Mikel Antonio, who doesn't get there, and he's very isolated right now. a better team, a team who have their act together, would put this to the sword. They would put this game to bed, and we can't do that right now. It's just because of where we're at. It's very frustrating to watch because we could and probably should be so much more, but you know, it's where we're at. It's where we're at. You know, I said it a couple of weeks ago, right? I did a video on it on the main channel. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's. I think it's called My Honest Opinion on David Moyes or something like that. I've never been that much of a fan of Moyes. Oh, that's a good ball in for Billing, can't quite get there. It's well headed away by Zuma. I've never been a big fan of David Moyes, and I'll never be a big fan of David Moyes. I don't particularly like the way he plays football. I think he's proved me wrong in a lot of instances, and I am still Moyes-in, if you want to call it that, although I don't think that's really an accurate description of where I'm at. Because of the results he's managed to pull out of this team for long enough that for several years he's pulled out insane results, and to me that feels like Declan Rice finds Ben Rama. This is a good opportunity on down the left-hand side. He has Downs ahead of him. Mikel Antonio on the far side. No one doing anything. He plays it back to Declan Rice, who then passes it back to Aaron Cresswell, who then passes it back to Kera. You love to see it. Feels like it just... I feel like he deserves time to try and make something more of this team. But it's not like I'm enjoying it. It's not like I like him. It's just I feel like he deserves that time to try and create something more from this West Ham side. Do I think he's going to be able to do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But, you know, there's been a lot of games like this, like you say. There's been a lot of games like this. Two not great teams playing not great football, not being great, you know? Declan Rice off the interception from, I think it was Thomas Suchek, and now they come forward. Finds Said Ben Rama. Does well to skip past one and across. There was that 10-15 minute period at the beginning of the second half where I thought Ben Rama was looking really bright and was sort of making something of himself, and the rest of this game, I just... flattered to deceive a little bit. I don't know. I think we flattered to deceive a little bit. I think you could just describe that as everyone else. Nah, no handball for me. We're seeing a replay. It hits the hand, but I don't think it. But I don't think it hits the hand in a way. It hits his arm. I think it hits his arm that's here and not his hand that's here. I don't know. I'd have to look at the replay from a good angle a couple more times. I saw it once from the good angle and then twice from a bad one. But what could you do? Yeah, I mean, there are managers out there I would prefer, obviously. There are managers available out there I would prefer, but I prefer Benitez in some ways, but it's where we're at as a team. It's where we're at as a team. And obviously with some sort of uncertainty looming over us this year, given this season is the season when GSB may or may not be leaving. Oh, header from Bournemouth, easy catch in the end from Fabianski. Ball played across, and I think it's Jefferson Lerma, I think, who maybe gets his head onto it in the end. No, it wasn't Jefferson Lerma, it was Anthony who gets the head onto it in the end, and nowhere near. At that point, I feel like, you know, what happens there could be a lot of say of what happens in the manager. Because I feel like what a potential new owner would get as a manager and what GSB would get as a manager are two completely separate issues. Two completely separate issues. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Logan's Gaming, were you timed out? I apologise if you were. I did not hear you were timed out. I apologise. Unless one of the mods saw you did something that I missed, which is more, you know what you did. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, man of match will be interesting. We're going to get onto it soon. 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and then we'll start to look at sort of potentially a man of match stuff. But right now, we've got 5 minutes of normal time remaining plus stoppage, and West Ham are holding on to a 1-0 win. And to be honest with you, well, that's nicely done. That's a nice ball by Billing, to be fair. Zamora does well, pulls it back to Billing. Anthony, they slow down instantaneously, Bournemouth, but nice 1-2. Ben Johnson does really well there. Nice defending. Jared Bowen hooks it away to Mikel Antonio, who tumbles down and can't do anything with it. He's been largely ineffective since he's come on, Mikel Antonio. Bournemouth have the ball again. Billing on the left-hand side. Bournemouth passing it around, trying to find a bit of space. Didn't cover the top. Was looking for Billing. It was a nice idea from Anthony, and Billing can't quite get there. It's going to be a goal kick, which Fabianski is more than happy to let bounce out for that one. It was a bit scary, but... Itchy. A double sub. David Moyes getting wild and doing a double sub in the 88th minute. Calm down, David. You're getting a bit blood rushing to your head. Soufal coming on alongside Pablo Fornals. You would suspect, for Ben Johnson, and Flynn Downs is coming off. So Flynn Downs is coming off for Pablo Fornals. He's worked hard. He's worked hard, to be fair to him. Playing out of position. Playing out of position in a weird way. I think he's worked very hard. And Jared Bowen coming off. Ooh, okay. We've changed to a back five, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Johnson will probably revert now to right centre-back, you would imagine, alongside Zuma at centre-back and Kerr at left centre-back, probably. Cresswell at left wing-back, Soufal at right wing-back, and then... Mikel Antonio fouls a Bournemouth player in the build-up to that. He's very angry about that. We'll take that. Okay. Will deflects off the Bournemouth player. Antonio on the ball, charging forward. He's got Soufal on the overlap. It's a little bit of an awkward pass. Big shouts for handballs from the cross from Soufal, and I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it was a handball, but I've never seen a more guilty looking face in my life. Holy crap. He comes flying in. I mean, he dives in, his arms are flailing all over the shop. Absolutely all over the shop as he slides in. It smashes against his hand on the inside. I'll be honest with you. I think it's way too close. I wouldn't have said that was a penalty because it was so close that in my head I'm like, well, what's he meant to do? He can't move his hands. But his hands are so wildly out of position, and when I say his face looked guilty, I have never seen a more guilty looking reaction to something in my life. He slid, and as the referee pointed for a corner, he looked up at the referee and went, it was the most guilty looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Again, I wouldn't have said it was a handball. It's a bit close, but they've gone to VAR, and at this point, I can't imagine, I've just spat everywhere. At this point, I can't imagine it not being given as a penalty. It just feels too... The fact they're going over it again, they're still looking at the VAR. Yeah, the referee's going to look at the screen. I mean, his arms are wild running all over the shop. It's been a game of handballs. You know, you had the Ben Johnson one a second ago. You had the Kara one. You've got them handballing it now. I mean, it hits his hand as clear as day. The referee's looking at it. He's confirming with the VAR official, who's Mike Dean. Here he comes. Penalty. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Penalty has been given. 2-0 potentially on the cards. It's a shame for Bournemouth to some extent. If you're looking at this from a Bournemouth perspective, they have worked very hard. Oh, Ben Rama to take it. They have worked very hard in this game. It's not worked out. They've not been great, but they've worked hard. And all of that pressure towards the end of this game could be about to be massively undone if Ben Rama can put this away for 2-0. Stepping up to the spot. I'm trying desperately not to look at the chat because I know you guys are ahead of me. Stepping up to the spot to make it 2-0 for West Ham. Saeed Ben Rama, I like him taking pens. Puts it in. 2-0. There we go. Saeed Ben Rama makes it happen. Sends it the wrong way. I do like him as a penalty taker and he puts it home. West Ham United 2. Bournemouth 0. A penalty after a handball from a wild sliding challenge. Trying to get the block. Guilty AF. Saeed Ben Rama. Oh, and he hits one. You love to see it. Go on, Saeed. Go on, Saeed. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a goal. Oh, good pen as well. It's a very good pen. Sends him the wrong way and just pings it in. Bing. I've said this from the start. I think Ben Rama is definitely... I think he is definitely should be our penalty taker. If he's on the pitch, he should be taking them. And that is an emphatic penalty. He just smashes it home. Left-hand side. 2-0. 4+ minutes was called in the middle of that, by the way, for stoppage time. There'll probably be a little bit longer given all of this has happened in stoppage time. But 4+ minutes has been called. Let me know at this point, 2-0 up, who was your man of the match? Whoever gets the most amount of votes in the chat, just as I read through them, there's no technical science here. None of your stats here, ladies and gentlemen. I just scroll through it, and whoever I think looks like is getting the most amount of votes wins the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. Get your people in chat now. Oh, Ben Rama doing really well again there. Let me know how you feel. While I do all that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification button because not only do we do watch-alongs, only West Ham channel, we did a watch-along every single game last season. I did miss one just now. I need to find out what that streak was and we need to start building it. We'll bring up a streak counter. We're going to get the whole thing going. But we were the only one who did it. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and we upload all throughout the week as well. So hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos and like it while you're there. Let's see where we're at. Let me have a little scroll on this. Likewise, we are at 436. Thank you very much. 436. We'll be taking that. We'll be taking that all day. My nose is so insanely itchy right now. Cheeky 14 before we end. 450. Nice round number. I'm being greedy. Thank you very much if you've liked the video. Much appreciated. Make sure to stick around as well, by the way, because we'll be having a review with Geo Gonzo live in just a couple of moments once this game finishes. Bournemouth currently have a throw-in very deep inside their own half. I suspect we will play a little bit over the 4 minutes of added time, which is where we're at now. I suspect we'll play a little bit over that because, of course, everything happened within the 4 minutes there. In the meantime, let's have a look at some of these Man of the Match awards. Benny... Oh, I thought that was the full time. I thought it was the free kick. Scoreline isn't really respected to go. We'll take it all day. Benny, man, a match for me. Benny, Ben Rama. Antonio falling over again is stress. I know it's what he does. Benny or Zuma. Flynn. Benny. Get in there, James. Come on, we move. Benny, VAR. I was a V and an M for man of the match. It wasn't worth doing, Richie. I can't lie to you. I'm sorry. I've disrespected your comment with that. Benny, VAR, Benny. Fair enough. Fair play. Thank you very much. I think we'll probably take it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll give it to Ben Rama. Congratulations as the full-time whistle goes to Saeed Ben Rama on winning his Hammers Chat Man of the Match awards. And thank you all for joining us. It's West Ham 2. It's Bournemouth 0. We move up to 10th. And after a pretty slow, poor start to the season, I'm not going to act like this was a great game of football, but we're slowly getting there. We're crawling our way back up the table. 10th position doesn't feel as bad as where we were before, which was 17th. So we're getting there. Ben Rama getting the goal to put it to bed. It's West Ham United 2. It's Bournemouth 0. Make sure to stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be live in just a moment with the full-time match review with Geo Gonzo. We did end up hitting the 450 mark. We got to 460. So thank you very much, everyone. Blitzing it right at the end there. And make sure to subscribe. Patreon.com/HammersChat as well. Link in the description below. I probably wouldn't do it now. Do it at the beginning of next month. But something you should look into, because we're putting a lot of work into that at the moment, and I would highly recommend it to you. Thank you very much, Ishmael. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you all. Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the review, Geo Gonzo. And until that point, come on, you irons, and I'll see you on Thursday for Europa Nights. Let's go. Come on, you irons. Yes, deploy the boys. See you later, everyone. Bye.